All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our September 12th, 2019 meeting of the Code Enforcement Board. The meeting will now come to order. Well, first of all, before we have a roll call, I want to welcome Mr. Gonzalez. Thank you very much for donating your time, and hope you will enjoy being up here with us.
Well, I thank the city for giving me the opportunity to serve the city. I usually, in whatever community I live in, I try to participate some way, somehow,
Good.
in volunteering some time to that community.
Good, thank you. And we'll have a new member next month as well, so we'll have a full board, which will be nice. Madam Secretary, may we have a roll call, please?
Yes, ma'am. Bradford Gonzalez.
Present.
Josh Fogarty. Karen Roby.
Present.
Valerie McLean. Here. Neil Harrington.
Here.
Turner Himes.
Here.
Ouija Kundig.
Here. I think we need a motion to excuse Mr. Fogarty. I don't think he got enough information in time. Motion by Mr. Harrington, second by Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries, but he'll be here next month. Okay. Everybody had a chance to read the minutes? Any additions or corrections? A motion to approve?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington. Second, Mrs. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Does anyone need to discuss disclose any ex parte communication?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do we have announcements?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Case number 9, CEB 08-19-160 at 825 Lewis Drive is withdrawn.
What is the case number again?
It's CEB, case number 9.
That's on page 4.
CEB 08-19-160, case number 9. David and Suzanne Jekovich at 825 Lewis is withdrawn. Case number 22, CEB
That's on page 7.
CEB 09-19-198 at 216 Zelda Boulevard is in compliance on 9/5/2019. And that's it.
Oh, okay. All right. Would code officers please come forward and be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Okay, everyone, here's our procedure. We'll be calling cases by number, and for the most part, as they are listed on the agenda. If there are any attorneys that have to be in court, we'll hear those cases first, and if there are police officers that need to get back to assignments and they need to testify, we'll then hear those cases. Otherwise, it'll be in order. When you come up here, please state your name and address for the record. If you're not the owner of the property, please state your relationship to the owner. Our proceedings are recorded, so please speak into the mic. The board hears from the code officers first, and then you'll be given the opportunity to respond. Please direct all your responses to the board. Witnesses may also testify following the same procedures. If we don't get finished by 11, we'll take a break, and those of you that are waiting to have your cases heard can come up to Ms. Barnes and tell her that you're here, and we'll hear those cases right as in order at 11 o'clock, and then people that aren't here will be heard. We'll do those after. Okay? All right, so first up is our lien review. CEB 04-17-20, 240 DeSoto Street, Irwin White. Mr. White, present? Good morning.
State your
Morning.
name and address, please.
Irvin White, 340 Garden Street, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I don't swear, but I'm firm.
Thank you.
Morning, Mr. Jackson.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Anthony Jackson, attorney for the city of Daytona Beach. Mr. White's here for a lien review, and I don't know, some of you I'm sure will remember this case. This case had a house was horrible, had been horrible for some time. I kind of looked back at the minutes and looked through the case, and I kind of saw that, and I saw his request. And something kind of happened a little weird there, so I'll start from the high side and tell you that the city is willing to do a substantial reduction, and this is why. We call that, yes, the place was in very, very poor state. He had sought some permits. He, with the intent to improve it, may recall he came in upset because he had was told he couldn't do a duplex again, and he had to do a single. And when it was changed to that, he prepared for that, and then a subsequent review determined that it didn't meet the 65% rule and it would have to be demolished. They had set a meeting with his contractor and Mr. Lucas, I believe the name was, and the contractor didn't show at the meeting. Obviously, it was frustrating to the staff. It was frustrating to the board. He came back before the board in, I think it was like November of that year, or October, I believe it was. And when he came back, we announced and requested a fine be imposed. But after we made that announcement, that request, the chief building official stood up and said that he had met with him. He had hired another contractor and had given them some instructions. Had met with both Mr. White and the contractor. Had given them some instructions on what they needed, and after that announcement, we ended up imposing a fine. So I can understand a little bit of the confusion there. We were asking for one, but at the same time, the building official said, I met with his new contractor, the prior contractor, who did not show to the meetings. Apparently, he fired him. And he said he met with the new contractor and so gave him the instruction. I think what Mr. White's argument wasn't being well articulated, but looking at the record, I saw that he was saying, I can't do what y'all need me to do, which is tear down the building until I get a permit. And I think the building official was saying, I won't give him a permit until I get a contractor come in here, and the contractor pulls the permit. So that was kind of the circumstance. In January, I think it was January, was when or December was when the permit was issued. I think January first week. There's a note here that I'm not looking at. Sorry about that.
January 3rd.
Okay. Yeah, permit was issued, and 15 days later, the place was demolished. So, from the perspective of once he had the permit, it seemed like it was pretty diligent, and he did show up at all the meetings. So, the city is willing to, at the we would believe a high end would be $100 per day for the 15 days that it took him to do it. At the low end, we would not object to if the board ultimately elected to waive it all together. But we'll leave that to the board. Give you this.
Madam Chair, can I ask a question? Sure. Okay, I read through this case yesterday. I've served in the past in code enforcement with the city of Sanford for 3 years. I've also been a Volusia County mediator, so I'm familiar with some of the legal jargon. In reading this in his letter of hardship, he indicates, and he quoted a statute, which he felt that statute was not met by the city. And it's my understanding from some of the legal advocacy work that I've done is that the law is supposed to be reasonable, and whatever consequences of it should be reasonable according to the interpretation of that law. So I found it kind of, as a matter of fact, I said, well, why wasn't that house demolished, to myself? And so he went and did it. But I think that in consideration, we should also look at the point that he brought forward in regards to, which you explained, something was overlooked at some point. There was an error made, and the error was made on the city side, and I'm glad that you're recommending that we tried.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Mr. Alex, but I hadn't acknowledged any errors. I just believe that we probably could look at it a little differently. But I appreciate it.
And that's great. That says a lot about the city.
Since the letter was brought up, Mr. White, I know we're all happy now. I don't like this letter. You make implications that's either the board or the code member are prejudiced against you because they don't like you. You got any direct charges to make? I'd like to hear them, because I'm not one of the people that doesn't like you. I don't like your letter.
Mr. Sino, I think that Mr. White's letter was...
I'm asking Mr. White,
And I
please.
understand that, and I'm not challenging that, Mr. Harrington. I'm just saying, for the sake of your counsel, I don't know if it's relevant to what we're trying to resolve. And so I wanted to ask your counsel.
It's in the record. Oh, it's relevant.
To give his opinion whether he likes the letter or not. But the issue is in front of us is to find the lien, that's it, nothing else. Case already been decided, it wasn't appealed. We're not going to relitigate the case.
All right, we're not going to relitigate the case. And if you have anything additional to say, Mr. White, you have a few minutes to say it, and then because we've heard a lot.
And if you wanted to issue that, that's up to you.
You may say you have
I need to issue it in
time to say what
evidence.
you want.
If that's what you want to do.
No, I want to read this letter. I want to
letter?
go through all my paperwork that I have here.
Contractor regarding this issue or something.
And I will,
You can pass it around.
Yeah.
This doesn't need to be, I don't think that we need to spend.
Really good one.
What?
I move that we
Well,
delete the
the issue
amount.
in front of us is the lien.
Take a copy of it.
To delete the lien.
City's recommendation.
I need a copy
Yeah, I
for
do too. I make a motion.
Wait, excuse me, I'm reading the letter. Okay, so this is all information that really mostly is in, except for this new stuff about the septic abatement, abandonment permit, but these are all city issues. We're here today, we see that you're in compliance, and we appreciate that. And the city has recommended that we lower the lien amount because there seemed to be some confusion. But I remember this case well, and I remember how much time that we all spent on it. So with that regard, I'd like to, the chair will entertain a motion to impose a lien of $1,500 subject to being paid within 30 days. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
All right, motion, Ms. Roby, is there a second? Dies for lack of second. Please make a motion.
I make
Someone
a
else.
motion that we set the fine at $800.
I second that.
We have a motion from Ms. Himes and a second from Mr. Gonzalez. Let's have a roll call, please. All in favor?
Mr. Gonzalez,
Aye.
Ms. Roby,
Aye.
Ms. McLean,
Aye.
Mr. Harrington,
Aye.
Ms. Himes,
Yes.
Ms. Kundig.
No.
Well, just mention that. So,
5-1.
5-1.
$800.
So it's $800.
Table in 30 days.
Paid in 30 days.
so I don't get a chance to plead my case. I get to come down here to accept an $800 bill. After all, can I speak now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I just want to read this. I hold up in my hand every permit that was reviewed by Mr. Ron Robinson between December 7th 2017 and December 29, 2017. My permit was submitted December 11th, but no approval until early January. All these permits in my hand here were approved in December, most within 2 to 4 days of submitting it, except the 2 permits which they had approval within 7 days. Some of these permits had required multiple things to be done and correction and was approved. Yet, somehow my permit, which has not been corrected, set for a month with no activity, was the only permit submitted in early December, but wasn't approved. During this time, I didn't think it fair and my responsibility to be fined $100 a day while stuff sitting in here on the city desk, knowing I was getting fined $100 a day and wasn't nothing done about it. Just a lot of permits was approved during that time. And mine was sitting right there on the desk. And I have to come down here today and accept a $800 fine when it started out to be $15,000 until we started doing research. So I'm paying for days that this information was sitting on the inspector desk, wouldn't issue a permit. And here's the evidence right here, all the permits that was issued. 2 before mines and the rest of them after mines. It was approved from 2 to 4 to 7 days. So I feel like I'm paying for days that shouldn't be paid for.
Mr. Jackson, do you have a response to that? What I'm going to do is ask for a vacation of the order we just made, and we'll redo it. Repeal the order, reconsider the motion.
My response
Because
to
we didn't, all fairness, we did not give Mr. White a chance to rebut. So first I'm going to make a motion that we reconsider. Oh, I can't.
Your
All right.
motion
Would
has-
somebody like to make that motion?
Can I make a friendly amendment?
What?
May I make a friendly amendment to the last motion?
I think we just need to start it over.
Motion on the floor, we need to motion reconsider.
I'd like a
Okay.
motion to.
To
I make a
vacate.
motion, we reconsider.
Okay. Is there a second to that?
Second that one.
All right. So,
Who was the second?
Ms.
got
McLean
one
made the
thing to
motion,
do with
Ms.
that.
Heim seconded?
Yes.
Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
Oh.
Motion carries.
Damn.
All right, now, finish what you'd like to say, sir.
After I spent right $10,000 doing everything the city asked me to do to remodel that building, lo and behold, they come up with saying about 65%. We had a hurricane during the same time we was doing this. Made the building a little bit more damage, but it still didn't exceed the 65%. After we beat it to 65%, then they come up and say, my property is sitting too close to the property line. I'm 18 inches too close to the property line. I have a building right now sitting on a piece of property of mine that the city's given a permit to redo sitting on my property. Another building right in front of my office. They're giving them a permit to redo. Nothing there but 4 walls. They gutted the whole building out. I had to call the city 5 or 6 times to get somebody out there to stop it from working. After I spent about $10,000, and they come up saying I got to tear the building down. The other day I read through some of my records, found out I owed the city $15,000 for this stuff here. How I get to be $15,000? So after we did some research and started doing all this research, we got a letter. Somebody emailed my daughter and saying that it was reduced to $7,500, and I still had to come here. I said, "What the $7,500 is for?" I just spent $10,000 doing what the city said to get plans, engineer work. He must have went out and got letters from structural engineers saying the building was structurally sound to stay there and be remodeled. I had to pay for all this stuff. Architect fees, everything. So I'm spending 10 that gets went down the drain, and then I'm coming in here to set up another $800 bill. I think it should be an even deal. So Mr. White, you did enough. I'm trying to better the city. I'm not trying to tear the city down. I'm trying to give people low-income houses. It's tax base. Then they wonder why I get angry. How much I got to spend to keep from getting angry? $200,000? I'm not in that area. So I appreciate if the city take under consideration just removing my fine and let me move on.
And I would respond Madam Chair. First,
Go ahead, I would like you to respond.
yes. First, I want to make sure everyone understands to know I'm not sitting here as an advocate for Mr. White. Of course, I'm an advocate for the city, but I'm also an advocate for fairness. So that's why I went through the whole record and made sure that y'all fully understood what the record showed. And based on that record, that's why we have the position that the staff has taken. Of course, I don't believe that ultimately the board did anything wrong. You made some decisions based on what you understood was the circumstance at that moment. And because that order was in place, that order ran to the point where, as he said, it may have been misread in terms of timing, and so they adjusted the fine. And I was more than expecting Mr. White to be vocal regarding those issues. That's well justified. We're not offended or hurt in any way about him being vocal about his disappointments. But nevertheless, as Mr. Sino said, we're at a point now where we really don't get to necessarily relitigate that aspect of it. But we do want to make sure that somehow we end up with a fair resolution.
Okay, and I do too.
Make a motion to just dismiss the fine.
Is that what you're doing? Mrs. Himes made a motion to dismiss the fine. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second.
All right, second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. I'll vote no as well.
Hold on a second. How many ayes we have? Need to have 4.
We have 4.
Okay.
You have 4 ayes. Thank you.
Okay, cases. All right,
Okay,
good. Done.
case is dismissed.
Yes.
Fine.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Or reduction to, I mean, it's the fine is waived.
Fine is waived.
Yes.
Satisfied.
Fine is waived.
Yep,
Whatever,
fine
not-
is waived.
Not satisfied, waived.
Right. Yes, sir.
All right, let's move on to the hearing of our old cases, our continued cases. We'll start with case number 1, CEB 09-18-109, Dennis and Lucinda Trovinger. I know they were here.
Not here today.
Is that a different?
Oh, he's there.
Okay.
That's what you wanted. Oh.
State your name and address, please.
Dennis Tropinger, 1212 Sunset Circle.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Oh, good morning, yes.
Mr. Jackson, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Madam
Where
Chair-
are we?
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, we've been at this for a while. And,
We have.
They've been taking the steps that's necessary as been requested. We were last at the point of them needing permits for the last determination that was made by the planning division to allow them accommodations. It's reported to me that the permits have recently, within I guess just within the last few days, have been approved, maybe even just as of today. And so they just need to pick up the permits and finish, and then get final. I think the work was already done, if I remember. No, it wasn't. Okay.
Finished done.
So they got to get permits, get the work done. So we're asking them into the next cutoff. That's the whole story. And I don't know if there's anything from the inspector. The inspector is Tom Clegg, and I think Mr. Clegg, that's
Okay.
what we're requesting.
Would you like to say anything else?
Just
Is
got to
the
get
month-
downstairs.
Do you
and
think a
sign
month is that going to work? If you sign that, is a month enough time?
Oh, I don't know. I have to get somebody to do
I'm-
it first.
I'm just sorry that you've had to come back, and you've come back faithfully every time we've asked you to, and you've done everything the city has asked you to do. So I'm just sorry that you have to continually come back here, and I'd like to make sure that you don't come back here one more time when,
And Madam Chair, we agree with you, and we're willing to recommend the November cutoff.
okay.
Yeah, because I
'Cause this
heard him
one's
say he
soon.
don't even have a contract yet.
This one is 9:30, the cutoff for
Yeah.
the next month, so, okay.
Oh, no,
No, 10/2 is next month.
oh,
Oh, the cutoff
11.
is 10/2 next month?
You're looking at
Go
2020.
November.
It's next.
Oh, I looked at the wrong one. So what is it?
It's 10/2.
Okay.
but
I still say November.
yes, November.
Okay.
Make a
Can we make sure
motion
to turn the phones off, please?
for November, because he don't even have a.
Okay.
Mr. Jackson, did I hear him say he don't have a contract as of yet?
He's shaking his head,
Okay.
so I was,
No, I
Yes.
don't.
I told him with November.
I keep asking if I should go ahead and do it, and they keep saying, no, don't do anything until you get the permit.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay. All right, the chair will entertain a motion to, does anybody else have a comment from the board? Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until, that date is 11/6/2019,
So moved.
to come into compliance and
Second.
return to the board for consideration of fine. All right, Mr. Gonzalez made the motion. The second was made by Ms. McLean. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. So in 2 months, we hope that you don't have to come back and you'll be in compliance and it will be finished.
Well, we're going downstairs and sign some papers.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
All right, case number 2, CEB 0619-125, Imogene C. and Fred Gilmore. And I think Mr. Pickens is here, correct?
He is.
Okay.
so what's going on? I mean, I saw his. You saw the email last night? Right. So what we doing? Get me from the mic.
State your name.
Good morning, members of the
Good
board.
morning.
My name is Jim Pickens. I am the attorney for the estate of Mr. Fred Gilmore.
Mr. Jackson.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for imposition of a fine. The inspector is Cliff Reckenzone. Mr. Reckenzone reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He has been in communication with Mr. Pickens, and they have been working at it. There's still stuff that has to be done. Mr. Pickens sent us some communication, or gave me some follow-up, I think it was yesterday, indicating some delays because of the preparation for storm and so forth, which seemed reasonable from the perspective of for the circumstances for what we have in terms of what they need to do. It seemed reasonable, and other things that they need to complete that was going to take some time. And so the inspector, and I'm saying that I'm trying to clarify that the preparation for the storm is not an excuse for everything, but for this circumstance, we believe it may have been reasonable consideration. And so, in any sense, the inspector, Mr. Reckenzone, agrees to ask that we amend to the next cutoff. And to be quite honest, we were coming with the thought of maybe asking, that fines be imposed if we want at the point we needed to be at, but we think it's reasonable to allow the additional time this time. Anything else?
Is there money Jim, is there money in the estate to make these repairs?
It's actually being paid by the family. There is not money in the estate.
Mr. Reckenzone, could you tell us what is left to be done?
They're going to repair the, excuse me, they're going to repair the shingles on the shed in the backyard and finalize both permits. Have both permits just finalized.
That's all?
Yep.
So is that enough time to get this done?
Your Honor, weather permitting, I spoke with the demolition contractor earlier this week. That permit had expired, so he needs to renew that permit to get it finalized appropriately. He did pull that one already? Great. And then with our roof situation, we have A1A Roofing, general contractor, delayed with hurricane preparation, and then delayed with hurricane repairs. He told me within 1 week that should be finalized and hopes to get back to our project. That permit does not.
I know it's difficult to work with some contractors sometimes. I realize that they're backed up and it gets difficult sometimes. I hope not to hear the hurricane excuse that we didn't have this time as an excuse for why work didn't get done. So, The chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 10/2/2019 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. McLean. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you, members of the board.
Okay.
Thanks, Ron.
Case number 3, CEB 0319-66, Christopher Higgins. Mr. Higgins here? Okay.
Hold on. What's wrong with that?
This has been going on for it's almost been a year since this has been going on too. I'd like to find a disposition for this case as well.
So all he had to do was pull the permit.
All right.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for imposition of a fine. The inspectors, Cliff Reckenzone, Mr. Reckenzone, request that this be amended to the November cutoff. There's a contractor issue where the city has got involved as well. They'll be going to the licensing board regarding those issues, and some of that has now become an issue that's delaying the whole
Permits
project.
and licensing, or just licensing for what? I'm sorry.
The city is taking them for their contractor licenses to either do the repairs or revoke their license from doing further work. And that hearing hasn't happened yet.
Do we know when that hearing's going to occur?
They've said it within the next 2 months.
Oh, my goodness.
Why is the city getting involved
It's
with
part of,
this?
it's part of the building department has made that choice. The building department was,
Couldn't he, all he had to
He
do
couldn't
was
have
apply
gotten
for a
another
permit.
contractor?
If I may,
Go ahead.
there appears to be some element of a dispute that, for whatever, I don't know enough about it, and I don't know if Mr. Reckenzone knows enough about the dispute, but what the level of dispute is something that the city was willing to be a part of, at least the issue of licensing and enforcement. And so this is an enforcement issue where now it's a proceeding issue, and anytime we consider other proceedings, we're kind of stuck a little bit. I don't know if we have necessarily a public ask or anything while we wait, but that's kind of where we are.
But can I just ask a question? As a homeowner, he can pull his own permit and be his own contractor, and the deal with whoever he did that can be separate from this case, couldn't it? So this one can get solved?
Yeah, I don't know if we can compel that, and I don't know enough about the circumstance to know why they would or would not do that.
Because all that was is he had to pull a permit.
Well, they covered up the sidewalk,
it's,
the issue.
that contractor ripped out the sidewalk.
They intruded on
And
the
it's
sidewalk.
the sidewalk that we're asking to replace, the city sidewalk, where the pavers are.
More than enough.
We should have resolved this 6 months ago.
Yeah. I mean, it looks great. I don't know
This
why the
latest
city has an issue.
excuse.
All those pavers are a trip hazard and all that kind of stuff.
What is the legal recommendation?
Now, what's the,
What do you
Well, that's
reckon?
what they're waiting on the city to.
Well, no, I'm
Mr.
asking,
Jackson, what is your
I'm asking our attorney. Oh, he's the attorney.
Yeah.
Well,
We've got-
I understand what Mr. Gonzalez is wondering if Mr. Sino has any input in terms of whether or not y'all need to take an action.
It's the city code that he used the pavers on the city sidewalk.
Right,
Want the city, you want the pavers out of there, the sidewalk back.
right,
That hasn't been done yet.
that's correct. And it's moved to the level that it's requiring us to take the enforcement action through an outside proceeding.
Did the work.
And if
Right.
the contractor's license is pulled, then he's going to have to get another contractor, and we're going to go on.
Right, I
and on
don't have the
and on.
answer to why they won't just get another contractor. I just don't have that answer.
So
And I
really,
don't
we're
know
not,
that
it is not the contractor that is before us.
That's-
It is Mr. Higgins, the
Right.
homeowner,
That's
is
correct.
before us.
That's correct. But the homeowner is limited to,
Going to get another contractor, he's not,
He could have fixed this, correct? He could have just hired another contractor and had the sidewalk installed, and this could have been done 6 months ago,
You know,
correct?
I don't know.
No, I don't think it
I
was
don't know
that simple.
if we have an insurance issue. I don't know if a cost issue. I don't know what it takes to do it.
And we
So I
just-
can't really answer that question.
May I ask a question, please?
Go ahead.
So what I'm reading here says driveway installed without a permit. Is that
That's
correct?
correct.
So he already installed the driveway without a permit. So he's in violation.
Yes.
Right. So I think that our issue is separate than the licensing issue.
Well, the permit had expired. And whether or not it's an issue of who corrects or how it's corrected, I don't know if this is much different than if we had a insurance issue. And I know that time expires. There's a point when we say we just can't wait any longer. But
Well, I mean,
we
it
have
has been. I mean, he was
a proceeding
notified
right now.
almost a year ago.
I understand. But I don't know what, while that's true, I don't believe he's been under the board's orders for a year. But I understand the point. It's been a long time, and we'd love to see this taken care of.
At least the third time, if not the fourth time this has come up.
Right.
It's a forward time.
It was one of my first meetings, so.
Yeah, I mean, if you have the preference of me having someone from permits or building explain more, we'd be happy to bring someone to do that.
No, I
but
think we
don't
all
have enough
understand the issue.
I don't understand why we're involved in his
Right, but
civil
I'm not
matter
sure
with
that's
this
anything.
contractor.
Well,
He's did it
Mr.
without-
Harrington, I have to remind you, the board's not involved, or neither is necessarily permits. I mean, necessarily the code enforcement, but permits for whatever, or the licensing division, permits and licensing has elected to be involved. To what extent, why, I don't have those answers.
I have another question. So, but the code enforcement piece comes in because he's supposed to have a permit.
Well, the way that we enforce, Mr. Gonzalez, our lack of permit or expired permit situations is that when someone is doing work without a permit, they have to obtain a permit, but then they have to complete the job and have it finalized to be in compliance. So it's not just him obtaining a permit, but actually having the work done, which I don't know enough, but looking at, I would guess someone would have to tear out something maybe, or to have that done, and whether or not that's part of the problem on who can or who couldn't or who should or who shouldn't, I don't know enough to know that answer.
I think it got complicated when he went to get a permit and they found out he had blocked up the city property. So that's
That was
where
a
it's
year
been.
ago, like you're
Yeah,
pointing out.
I think
They
I'm being
haven't
told as
moved
well
on
that
it, so
this
We've
person
heard
has
this
worked
case
with
several
at least responded to the city's requests throughout this process, and has done everything the city has asked them to do.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fourth time this has been back.
this is the fourth time.
And
I see it here.
We have the property owner in front of us. It's his responsibility to solve the problem.
And has anyone spoken to the property owner?
I have not spoken to him since he's been dealing with permits and licensing. When it comes to, the permit had expired, and the permit was opened on sorry. The permit was open on 5/11 in 2011. When the permit expired,
2011?
the permit,
No.
the permit.
You said 2011,
Yes.
no.
Yes, the permit was pulled in 2011. The driveway was put in 2011.
Oh.
The permit expired, and when I opened the case on the property, when I found that there was an expired permit, when he went to try to close that permit and have that permit final, that's when they found out that the sidewalk couldn't be the way it was. The city is working with him to get that sidewalk put back, and the city is trying to get the contractor to put the sidewalk back. And that's why the city is involved in taking the contractor to court. Once a permit is gone expired,
Yes.
it's considered work without permits.
Right.
But a permit was applied when
when the driveway was built, but
the driveway was built.
but they didn't follow through in 2011.
Correct.
You didn't follow through on getting it, the contractor that did it, on getting it finalized, or the homeowner didn't follow through on getting it finalized
Correct.
in 2011.
Correct.
So can we make a recommendation that he gets another permit and another contractor to fix what he does and let him deal with the city on another end?
No, we can't.
Maybe,
do that.
okay, you already know the answer. I thought the answer was we cannot.
It's to come into compliance.
So the best thing for him to do is get a permit, have another contractor.
Well,
fix
yeah,
it.
but he's known that for a long time, is my point.
Well, then he needs to.
Now
move on.
he's held up with the city, so.
So,
He's tried to get another permit, and that's what led him to permits and licensing, and that's what the holdup is. They're trying to deal with the contractor, to my understanding. So he's tried to get a permit and get it all resolved.
when did
If
he
I'm not mistaken.
apply for a new permit?
After the first hearing.
And when, can you tell me when that was?
Probably January of.
I don't have that permit.
Must have been after November of 18.
Right, it was, but how much after?
It was one of our first meetings, so January or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was early.
Yeah.
a long time ago.
It was in 4/26/18.
Or 26. Huh.
Before he was first notified?
No.
No,
No,
when he
when he
got the
went to
permit.
apply for a new permit.
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Madam Chair, I move that we extend this to the next cutoff and at that time have the city inform us of what's going on since our hands seemingly.
I would agree to that, but I would like the people from permits to do the explanation next time if nothing's happened. Something's happened, they don't need to be here. But if we're at the same point that we are today, I'd like to have them tell us what's going on.
Certainly.
I would support that.
And just, I was just confirming something. I know we've had this come up before, so just for the sake of the question Ms. Roby was asking, I think while they have a contractor that has been contracted for specific work, and because it's never been found out he's still the contractor of record, they can't reissue the permit. So he has to either withdraw or they have to take it from him. And we've had that come up before.
I guess we have. All
That's why I
right,
made the motion.
does anybody else have any comments?
Well, I mean, I think we should just move it to November as we cut off because he said it's going to be a couple months.
Right,
before
I
they-
mean,
That's
what's
what
the
I
point of bringing
said.
this back
Right.
every month?
November.
All right. Any comments?
I disagree, because he, whether him or his contractor, whoever, are not in compliance.
Right.
And so, do we go back and forth and continue to go back and forth? Or do we give them an incentive for them to correct it?
But we're waiting on the city, not that guy. Right, am I correct? We're waiting on the city.
Well, action
not-
can't be taken until
city
someone permits
Yeah.
for someone to take it, and we're not issuing a permit until we get it settled with
Right, so it's
contractor.
not this guy, that's not under his control.
Okay.
Okay.
That's the only thing, right, am I
So
right
next
about that?
next
that correct?
cutoff is November.
I tend to agree with you in somewhat. The fine should have been imposed a year ago for the violation of working without a permit, and we get into all of this excuse. And today we're going to hear about things couldn't get done because of the recent hurricane. I mean, it never stops. So, yeah, we've got this.
I just think we move to the November date and move on.
Yeah.
Quit talking about it, just move on.
And at that time, we would like to hear from city in my motion.
This is just going to drag on and on for us, and the board has no control over it. We have absolutely no control over this. We can't make the city do anything faster or slower or anything else. Our job is to determine whether we impose a fine today or not on the homeowner because he's not in compliance. We already found him not in compliance.
But he can't come in compliance because of the city.
That's
so.
right.
He's waiting on the city.
Well, he could be waiting for 6 months, so that's
True
you know.
that.
And the city's waiting on the county. It's a process.
I understand there's a
So,
process,
yeah.
but it could be 6 more months, so
I think it's,
I don't want,
understand, but and I don't mean to interrupt, but it's pretty much out of our control. It's kind of like someone
right,
who
it's out of our control.
keeps delaying an eviction. It's something that we can't really do anything about except wait for the process to complete.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 11/6 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Is there such a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion, Ms. McLean, second, Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
Nay.
Motion carries 5-1.
Yeah.
Wow. Case number 4, CEB 0419-76. Paul Jakowski Revocable Trust. Anyone here? Respondent present?
I'm sorry, the address?
Oh, I'm sorry. 309 and 307 Seaview? Aha. Oh, you probably didn't understand. I probably said your name really wrong.
No, well, it's not my name, thank you.
Oh, okay.
Joe Crandall, 1139 Hampton Road, Daytona Beach, contractor representing the owner.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, members of the board, I think we're back to normal here.
Okay, good.
The inspector in this case is Mark Jones. This is before you for failure to obtain a rental license. The respondent has twice failed inspection. This is an occupied, or at least was occupied at the last of the inspector's knowledge. The inspector is requesting that a fine be imposed of $100 a day to a maximum of $15,000. And I would tender Mr. Jones if you have any factual questions.
Mr. Jones, what can you tell us?
Mark Jones, City of Daytona Beach, Combination Inspector. Good morning. This property failed inspection back in April of this year, and we worked with the owner trying to get, he had some windows he had to get replaced and so forth. We re-inspected the building back in August with the contractor, and there were still items that had not been corrected from the original list. And that's where we are now. I had not heard from the contractor since August 15th until today at the meeting.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Crandall, have you always been the contractor?
I was only hired recently, not from the beginning.
Okay, so recently meaning after August?
Right.
Okay.
As soon as I was in
Okay.
charge,
All right, go ahead. Now you tell us.
I had
what-
to get a permit, order a special order window, and all that is done. And then I had a re-inspection, and it was a different window that failed, and that's being repaired today, actually. So it'll be done by the next cutoff date.
Is there anything else that needs to be done other than that?
Nope.
Just the
one
window?
window that I missed, that Mark.
We have his
He just said there was other
license.
things wrong.
Yes, there are other items. I mean, there was one of the units,
yeah.
the bedroom windows wouldn't open. That was from the original list. There was also a kitchen window that would not stay up, which again was from the original list. And painting on the east side of the building that was on the original list that hadn't been done yet. And you can see this is a picture of that where there was, that's just a small section of it, but where the paint is peeled off on the east side and it's missing a piece of siding.
Now, this violation says failure to obtain rental license.
Yes, what
Do we
that
have
is,
the license yet?
they have paid for the license.
Right.
For the
Okay, back to
for
this again.
our statutes, every other year, they must have a rental inspection and pass the rental inspection. So in essence, right now, they have a rental license, but it's inactive or on hold.
Yeah, we had this discussion
Yeah.
last month. I remember that, licenses are issued, but the rental inspection fails. But I think that's really confusing to people.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way the statute's written is they don't have what would be considered a rental license that is active, even though they've paid the fees and/or
Right.
had the application
Right.
approved.
And it can't get the license until he's done.
Correct. So are you in full understanding with Mr. Jones what still needs to be done?
It's, as of today, it'll be all done, and I just need to call in an inspection.
He said next cutoff.
So I'll be done by the next cutoff date.
Well, okay, we're going to hold you to that.
Thank
We
you.
don't want to see you again.
Yeah.
Actually, I have another case today.
Oh, good.
All right, after today.
Can I make a small note? I have another case today
Okay.
with the same owner, and he's up in age, and the reason a lot of this dragged, was
Well, why
because...
don't you stay here? We'll hear that case, but let's dispose of this case, and then we'll go to the other case.
I motion that we extend it to the next cutoff.
All right, a motion has been made to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until the next cutoff date, which is 10/2/2019, to come into compliance. Motion was made by Mrs. Himes. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mrs. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Motion carries. All right, sir, what is your next case or your?
912 Laura.
What-
It's on 227.
It's a new case? Okay. Okay,
case
number
number
27. All right. Is that all right with staff to do it this way?
Yes,
Since we're here?
that's fine.
Okay.
Mr. McCoy's here.
Okay. So this is a new case, and we're just here to determine whether you're in compliance or not in compliance. It's not difficult,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like it's the same kind of issue.
Correct. And I've only been aware of this job for a week or two, so I'm on it now.
Okay, so the only thing we'll determine today is, I just want you to understand, is whether you're in compliance as of today or not in
No,
compliance.
yeah.
Okay? Mr. Jackson?
And that's the position of the inspector. The inspector in this case is Jerome McCoy. This is a determination of compliance, non-compliance. It's currently in non-compliance. He's had some communication with Mrs. Crandall. He's satisfied that they could bring it into compliance by next cutoff.
Okay.
So that's what we're recommending.
All right. For what?
For Laura.
For 912? Okay.
Today is just.
Yeah, so all we're doing is, I mean, and you have this list, you know what needs to be done, and you say you can get it done. So, the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, which is 10/2/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there such a motion?
So, second.
All right, Mr. McClain made the motion, second, Mrs. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, now let's go back to our previously scheduled programming. Where are we here?
Page 3.
Page 3, all right. Case number 5, CEB 07-19-130, Jackie Maurice Spencer.
Oh, no.
Did you get a chance to see that, Mr. Gonzalez? Did you want to look at
Yes, I
that?
did.
Okay.
How you doing?
State your name
Thank
and
you.
address, please.
Jackie Marty Spencer, 648 North Street, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of, I'm sorry, what is, for a progress report, but there are also some matters that you requested to be in
Correct.
compliance
Correct.
by this meeting date. the inspector's requesting that we amend to the next cutoff, and I would have to attend to the inspector to speak to that. The
Next
inspector is
cutoff
Mark
for
Jones.
what? Could we be more specific on that? Thank you.
Yes, what happened with, I was supposed to meet with the property owner on the 4th of this month, prior to the 4th of this month, and with the holiday and then the couple days where we had challenges with the hurricane, I was not able to meet with him. And of course, my schedule was rather complex because I had lost a few days. We did try to communicate on this past Monday, had some miscommunications via email. I should be able to get out there in the next day or two to go over the safety issues. A lot of it was just a scheduling issue. He affirmed to me on the phone that all those issues that we were looking at, I had provided him a list of the safety issues that they had been corrected.
We did that last time.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Safety issues were bars, ceiling, electrical, and smoke detectors, right?
Correct. And
I understand. I do understand that 9-4 was in the middle of everything, so
Right.
that I can see how that would set you back.
535, but the paper says 533. Is it 533 or 535?
There's several.
It's a duplex.
It's a duplex.
It's a duplex, but the property address is the 533. But there's 2 units for the mailing address.
Question, so the notification took place February 25th?
Good postal catch.
Correct. All right, Mr. Spencer, what would you like to tell us today?
Just what he stated was pretty much what the situation was. With him not being able to, well, us not being able to connect, he did suggest that I could take pictures. They're not official pictures, but I did take pictures of the safety things that he required me to do. So if he's going to come back out with his iPad and take the pictures, then I guess that's what you will accept. But I was just basically told, and my understanding was to fix those safety things, and then today we would talk about the progression of all the other
Right.
things.
Well, we wanted a progress report. So what did you do from the last meeting to this meeting, minus those few days nobody could do anything?
The items, the safety items
The
that
safety items.
yeah, the safety items, and I've acquired a
So
hand-
I'm going to ask you, are the bars down?
Yes, I have pictures of that.
Okay.
Mhm.
Smoke detectors
Yes,
up?
yes.
Ceiling repaired? I don't know what that is. What exactly was the ceiling?
There was some water damage and some drywall came down, so the drywall has been replaced. I just need the handyman to plaster over the
Okay.
drywall.
Fine.
Yeah.
And electrical?
It was requested that I put in the bathroom I have a picture of it, I don't know what it's called, but a plug and an on and off switch. There was no plug in the bathroom.
There was no GFCI.
Yeah.
plug in
Yeah,
the bathroom.
okay. But there is now?
Yes.
Okay, so what we required of you, you seem to have, you've told us that you've done. And it's just a matter of Mr. Jones getting out there.
Right.
We're here to determine then today, for a progress report. Have you done anything other than that to this building?
No, just the door. I replaced the door. I've acquired a handyman. Him and I are going to do the rest of the repairs and the refurbishing of both sides. One side isn't occupied at all, which is going to make it a lot
So
easier.
you have one side's not occupied?
Right,
Okay.
yeah. And there is a couple living in the other side.
But you think you can be in compliance by next cutoff?
As far as,
Things that was required.
not everything on
No.
the list. I don't know where the next cutoff is, I'm sorry.
I have a question, if I
Go
may.
ahead,
Not-
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's not everything on the list.
Okay, so the first notice, February 25th. These action to be taken, those are the issues that were identified on the 25th. Is that correct? So from what I heard, he's only done 3 things since February.
No, there's been a list of more than 3 things. Basically I did what I was asked to do. It started out with the misunderstanding of the whole license and policy, I forget what it was called, license and inspection. I purchased a license and I didn't know I had to have an inspection, then that's what led me to being here. And
Yeah,
then he did
what
inspection.
happened was there was a little confusion. He received his notice, he applied for a rental license, but only applied for one unit, not realizing he had two. He then paid the fees for the second license, didn't realize he needed to contact us for a rental inspection. We did do the rental inspection back in July 18, and that's when we came up with the list of the numerous items that needed to be repaired.
Now, Mr. Gonzalez, I will tell you, I think Mr. Spencer inherited this property, is that right?
True, yes.
So was not, even though he lived close by, was not aware of the problems that were going on. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. So if I can speak, there's a list of things to be done. Like I said, I've acquired a handyman and myself that are going to do it. All the repairs and stuff are being done out of pocket, pretty much, and using some of the rental money from the one tenant. And I think if I'm supposed to provide a progressive report as to when I think I can have everything done.
Is that a picture of an occupied unit?
That was when we went in. That's not there anymore.
So that's not occupied anymore?
That's the empty one.
That's the empty?
That's the empty one,
Okay,
yeah.
so all that is gone?
Yeah. That's all. That whole thing is empty. That apartment is empty.
But is that stove still there?
No, that apartment is empty. Nothing's there.
No stove?
The sink isn't there. The stove isn't there. Furniture's not there.
Okay.
It's just empty. That one's going to be easier to fix.
Sure.
Yeah. But as you know, when we went in, I was just as surprised as Mark was. So, but they're gone. We're moving forward from that. The other side, we had the water damage from the ceiling. Like I say, that drywall's up. I just need to get the handyman to plaster that.
How long do you think it will take to get all this work done?
Well, there's quite a list for both sides. Again, out of pocket and using the rental fees from the one tenant. I was asking for 6 months to get it all done. I don't know if that's feasible or not. There's some fascia, maybe soffit work that needs to be done, and I think that may lead to some roofing on the edge of it that needs to be done.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and some windows to be replaced.
Okay. Mr. Jones, we're here to determine a compliance date. Can you tell us what this building needs to come into compliance?
Well, I think
besides get out of the life safety issues right now.
I believe if it is actively managed, I mean, some items may require a licensed contractor. If you're replacing a front door with a frame or replacing a window, that requires a contractor that, because it's a rental unit, he'll have to get a licensed contractor. But I do believe with, extensive working on the project, and especially with it having one side occupied, that he should be able to be done within 2 to 3 months.
Question.
So we do.
Question. So the last issues that you went into about the faucet and all that, is that for the same property or is it for another property?
The faucet?
Same property.
It's the same.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes, everything's the same. It's only one property.
Okay, so you, okay.
You want to just?
Madam Chair,
December is
with
cut off.
the
That'll give them
progress
2.5
report.
Oh, and I think we need a progress report.
Yeah,
All right.
each month.
So let's see if we can craft a motion here that we are asking the city to if the life safety issues, for inspection for the life safety issues within a week? Yes, okay, so that's.
That's not of a yes from the inspector.
Is that, okay. Is that possible?
Yes.
Yes, that's possible. We'll get it done within the next 1 or 2 days.
Yes.
Okay, good, all right. And we're going to ask for a progress report for next month's meeting, which would be 10/10/2019. And I think that at that point, we could set a compliance date. So we'll just leave that. We won't set a compliance date today, but we'll ask, as long as the inspection's done and we get a progress report, next month we will determine a compliance date. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mrs. Heim, second, Mrs. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Motion carries.
All right, thank you.
Uh-huh. All right. Case number 6, CEB 0619-117, Holly Hoffman. Hasn't ever been here, I don't think.
Nope. Any contact?
I did finally have contact. She called me on 9/6. It's been going on for a while.
Okay. Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of imposition of a fine. The inspectors, Mark Jones, Mr. Jones reports. He finally did get some contact from the respondent a few days ago, but as far as compliance, it's not in compliance. He's asking for a fine of $100 per day to $15,000.
Okay.
I attend to Mr. Jones.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum amount of $15,000. Motion by Ms. McLean, second by, what's that?
It was actually Mr.
Oh, it was
Gonzalez.
by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms.
Second.
By Ms. McLean. All in favor say
I
aye.
have questions.
Like, sign,
Questions?
Question.
It hasn't got a license because it hasn't passed an inspection and they have repairs. Is that what?
That is correct.
The same issue.
Yes, she has a license that she's paid for, but we failed the rental inspection back in July.
Okay, so we're not charging $100, $15,000 because they haven't paid a $250.
No.
Okay, because that's,
Yeah, but this, I think this is an issue that needs to get worked out.
Yeah.
it needs to be identified.
Yeah.
We're talking
Each time, that they paid for the license, but they failed the inspection.
Because if you read this, you assume that
Yeah.
that isn't the case.
Yeah, I think we're kind of, and we may want to wait and talk about it on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but I think we're overlapping a couple of things, so we may want to discuss that a little more further.
And do we want to make an addendum to this motion for the BTR, one-time fine of $250 or no?
Well, she already has
it. She already has paid for her license and she already has one
Oh, so she
inspection.
has a BTR.
So she does have
All
a
right,
BTR
fine, I
now.
didn't understand that. Okay, I just knew, okay. All right. Let's move on to case number 7, CEB 08-19-158. Annie Mayara. Anyone here for that case? Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for imposition of a fine. The inspector is Mark Jones. Mr. Jones reports that this property remains in non-compliance. It is unoccupied. It appears unoccupied to him, but it is in non-compliance. He's asking for $100 per day fine to a maximum of $15,000. It is and has been used as rental property. It's unit number 102.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Jones, you want to add anything?
Yes, as to my site visit on Monday of this week, there were sandbags sitting out in front of the unit and some pieces of furniture, so it almost appears that it is occupied, but I could not get anyone to answer the door.
Okay. All right. Any comments from the board? Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Ms. McLean, second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Motion carries. Case number 8, CEV 08-19-159, Dora Dumas, mother? This is her mother. Are you her mother? Okay, right. You were here last time, I remember that. Okay. Good morning.
State your name and address, please.
My name is Lily Dumas, and I'm for my daughter at 610 Winchester, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so today we're just here for a progress report. Mr. Jackson, doesn't
Yes,
matter.
we're here for a progress report.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, we would like is for her to tell whatever she's
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Thank you.
So go ahead,
okay.
tell us what's been done.
My daughter has done all the things, all 22, and all that's done. She had to go back. She'll be back on Monday to meet with Mr. Jones. She was trying to get him earlier, but he was so busy. I brought pictures so you can see how she has done all these things, if you want to flip through it and see it.
We do want to point out that there's just a little hiccup or a little difficulty, and that's that some of the work that required permits was done without permits. But the extent of the work, obviously, or at least I think they're indicating, Mr. Jones hadn't inspected or anything, but there is an issue of, and it's not an issue that's necessarily before you in the sense that it has not been cited yet, but some of the work has been done without permits, and so they're going to have to get that taken care of. And
It's one thing that, because the windows was just panes put in, the contractor called my daughter long distance, and he was supposed to get a permit to redo the porch roof, and he said that he could put up poles and he wouldn't need a permit. And Mr. Jones came by, and see, that's all painted too. He came by on September the 2nd, and he didn't notify her. She's been typing him back and forth with everything. And so I spoke with him also with my daughter, and he said that the poles may need an inspection and that it shouldn't have been put up because when she put the poles in to hold the roof, that it was lifted or changed the whatever when you pushed it up. So we didn't find that out until we talked to him the other day. We tracked him down. It takes forever to get him. And I do have a copy of where she has filled out an application as soon as she talked with Mr. Jones, which was yesterday. And it's right here. And the pictures are showing that she did do everything, the windows, the bathroom, and it shows the bathroom, how it looked and how it looks now. And she wrote on here so you'll know that this was replacing this window. And if you all want to look at it.
I think Mr. Harrington was particularly interested last time in this case,
Mm-hmm.
that you made sure that you gave us a real progress report.
Right, and I have the real pictures.
The
May I
effort to
approach?
do that, so
I'd be happy
maybe.
to look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to see it? Okay.
Please.
And I did check with the building department this morning, showing them the before pictures and the after pictures. And they have stated that a building permit will be required.
Okay.
That'll need to be submitted by a licensed contractor.
Okay.
And that is just getting an after-the-fact permit. I'm not sure what they may require.
Right, okay. We'll figure that out, but right now, you've given us the progress report. That was what was required today.
Right.
And you made some good progress. Some other issues may have come up.
Right.
We have compliance ordered by the 2nd of October. At that time, we may, if the work is not done because there's permits that still are pending or whatever, we'll determine that next month.
Okay.
And okay, that's all, so we don't have to make any
I
motions.
think this indicates a very good effort.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
We like the effort.
So the next cutoff.
Hang around for your book.
Yeah, wait, you get your book
I'll
back.
leave you to get your book.
The next cutoff.
So, yeah, we don't have to do anything with this case, make any motions. Case number 9 has been withdrawn. Case number 10 is a progress report for CEB 07-19-148 Josephine Anderson Estate. Is there someone here for that? Respondent present? Huh. Okay.
Progress, no permit.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for a progress report and a determination of compliance date. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that there's been no progress, there's been no permits pulled, and he's asking for next cutoff to be the compliance deadline. And I attend to Mr. Fitzgerald.
Good morning, Michael Fitzgerald, City of Daytona Beach Code Enforcement. My credentials are on file with the city. I guess we were supposed to get a progress report about pulling the permits for the roof and getting that going. I haven't heard anything, so I'm asking for a non-compliance, a next cutoff.
Okay.
This was an estate and the family owns it? Is that who's doing?
Yes, it's under a state name.
Okay, there's nothing been done, so that doesn't give us much choice here in the matter. So the chair will entertain a motion to allow respondent until October 2nd, 2019 to come into compliance. We return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes, second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Nay.
1 no.
1 no.
Okay. All right. Case number 11, CEB 08-19-170, Peter Frank. Is Mr. Frank or Mr. Bretzel here today? Okay.
State your name and address, please.
Mike Bretzel, 242 Royal Dunes Circle, Ormond Beach, Florida, 32176.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for the imposition of a fine. The inspector is Mark Jones. Mr. Jones reports that the property was inspected and it failed inspection on August 27th. By ordinance, he has 30 days to make those repairs, so that goes into September. So Mr. Jones is asking for the amend to the next cutoff.
When is that 30 days?
30 days from the date of the failed inspection, which would be
And
September.
that was August 27th, the failed inspection.
It's September 26th.
Notified on the
September
26th.
So it will be 10, again, the cutoff would be 10-2, right?
Mr. Frank, did you have reason to believe you were going to
That's
pass?
Mr. Bretzel.
Oh, Mr. Bretzel.
Everything's finished.
Everything's finished?
Yeah, and we just had to cancel the inspection for last week. It's just been moved to next week.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so the chair will entertain a motion. Does anybody have questions about this? Comments? Okay. So you're going to have this done by next time, so we're just going to.
Everything's
amend to
done.
the
It's
next-
just the inspection got
Good.
pushed. Otherwise, we'd be here
Okay,
today to let you know
great.
the inspection's all finished as well.
All right, the chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 10/2/2019 to come into compliance. We return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, motion Ms. Roby, second Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
And at case number 12, CEB 08-19-162, Kevin Block at 419 Golf. Good morning.
State your name and address, please.
Kevin Bach, and it's 419 Gulf Boulevard, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32118.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for imposition of a fine. The inspector, Steve Alderman. Mr. Alderman reports that permits have been pulled or applied for. I don't know if they've been pulled. I'll let Mr. Alderman speak further to that. I think this is a change from when we previously spoke. But he's asking to amend to the next cutoff, and I'll attend to Mr. Alderman.
Okay. Mr. Alderman.
Good morning, Madam Speaker, members of the board. For the record, my name is Steve Alderman, City of Daytona Beach Neighborhood Services Inspector. My credentials are on file. I responded to this case June 5th of 2019 for an accessory structure that had been moved. And the same day I posted it, sent the notice of violation. The dwelling is occupied, but the owner works up north in, I think it's North Carolina or South Carolina? South Carolina. And on 7/2, it was still not applied for as far as the permit. Now, the permit, I do have a copy of the application. Mr. Bach is having complications based upon a few square feet of this structure based upon the variances off the property line, but I'm going to let him explain that, please.
Okay, what would you like to tell us, Mr. Bach? So you don't live there?
No, it's a second home.
That's a second home. Does anyone live there?
No.
No. Okay.
My home base is Jacksonville, Florida.
Okay.
I moved the garage, 20 by 12 garage to the back of the property, and then when I got the notice from Mr. Alderman that I was not in compliance with the land code use and needed a building permit, I applied for the permit, but then when I got the permit, they said the building was too big for the setbacks from the property lines. So I said, okay, if it's over 200 square foot, it has to be 25 from the rear, 10 foot from either side is what I believe I was told. So consequently, I've got an architect and an engineer to do drawings, site plans, turned that in, and made the building 200 square foot, less than 200 square foot, which the setbacks then would be 7.5 feet from the rear or each side. And I'm trying to obtain the permits now.
You've applied for them?
I have.
Okay, good. So we're just waiting on the city to approve your permits?
Well, I talked to, I believe it's the one that's Angela Cudzo, I guess. Cazzo. Thank you for the correction. Talked with me yesterday and said that something about the horizontal roof area of the lot, and I haven't really done anything because the building is. That's what I'm still in question with her on that. She wasn't there yesterday to talk. Well, actually, she was. It was the day before she talked to me, and so we're having a little dispute of what I need to do next.
Okay. All right. So there's some
to be
issues,
in compliance.
There's some issues to work out to come into compliance.
Yes, ma'am.
So you've applied for the permit. You're finding out what those issues are.
Right.
Does anybody have any questions? Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until October 2nd, 2019 to come into compliance, be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved. Is there such a motion?
So move.
Second. Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Mrs. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. So see you next month and hope that,
Everything's fine.
that everybody figures out what they need to do.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Just want to make a note that Mr. Gonzalez is left for a minute and that we will continue because we have a quorum. All right. Case number 13, CEB 08-19-161, Carolyn Wagner.
State your name and address, please.
My name is Philip Taylor, 542 North Ridgewood Avenue. I'm representing Caroline Wagner. Caroline is sick.
How are you you're representing her
Yes.
as what?
As her representative to be here today.
And she gave you permission to do that?
Yes. And Inspector Garcia has spoken to her throughout the morning.
Okay. And what is, what's your name? I missed it. I'm sorry.
Philip Taylor. Philip with one L.
Okay.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, thank you. We'll hear from code enforcement first, and then I'll give you a chance to say what you want.
And Madam Chair, the inspector's advised me that he has spoken to them jointly in the past.
Okay.
The inspector is Daniel Garcia. This is before you for imposition of a fine. Mr. Garcia says that they are, he has a meeting scheduled with them to have contractor and permits. They don't have them in hand. They need them in hand. He believes that they are able to progress and have this done by next cutoff. So he's asking to amend to the next cutoff, and I will attend to Mr. Garcia.
Okay, because I have some questions here. Were the life safety issues fixed?
Good morning, Inspector Garcia.
I'm sorry. Good
With the
morning.
City of Daytona Beach, and my credentials on file. The stairs,
okay.
As you can see in the photos there, they're removed. And that door up above has also been closed off. It's been removed, and the handles and whatnot. I'm supposed to meet with the contractor today after the hearing, and they need to have, by next cutoff, they need to have permits applied for, issued, and approved. And then they can proceed with, I'm supposed to also, I'm scheduling an appointment with Snowden, Bo Snowden downstairs in Permits and License to do a walkthrough and explain exactly what's going to be needed to be done to come in compliance.
Okay, and there was one more thing for a safety issue. It was a boarded porch or something? Is that?
It was that door up there.
Oh, it was
yeah, that was
the
actually
door.
a door,
Okay.
and they
Okay.
removed the handles
So
and
that
actually
was the same
put.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are, okay, so all the life safety issues are taken care of.
Correct.
They need permits for some things, and you're going to explain that to them.
Correct.
Okay. Mr. Taylor,
Yes.
what would you like to tell us?
That we're very proud to be part of the Daytona area. We want to continue to be part of Daytona moving forward. We feel that we've made a lot of progress. If you drive by the building, you wouldn't recognize it from the before and after pictures. We would like the board to be well aware of the financial demands that's putting on Mrs. Wagner. She is not a woman of any means of having lots of money. We would like to have as much time as possible to have the situation resolved. She has been put in a situation of being between what the city demands and unfortunately this engineer has had a big workload, and we would like the board to please consider the fact that if we need more time, we'd like to have more time, because we contribute to the community, and we want the best for the community, and we want to be part of the community. So we would like that to be known.
Okay, thank you. Let me ask a question. Are there tenants in that building?
Are there tenants in that building?
Yes.
We have tenants upstairs, and we have tenants downstairs.
And, okay.
Once
And-
again, I see two addresses, and the staircase has been removed from 544, so
There's a staircase on the back side, correct?
Yes.
that would be their entrances on the backside?
This is our new entrance. Yeah, the backside entrance is the entrance, yes.
Question, are the tenants up to date with their rent?
Yes.
Never mind. Okay. Okay, a business tax receipt. Have, Danny, do you know if that's been?
That was applied for, and Mark Jones, Inspector Jones, had also did a rental inspection on it. I don't know if it was passed or not.
Okay. Do you live there as well?
When I'm in Daytona.
Okay, when you're there. And lives there as well?
Yes.
Okay. So it would be, I'm just trying to see how many units there are in the building. One for her, 1, 2, are there 3?
Mr. Garcia, do you know how many units?
There's one unit on the bottom left.
Okay.
There's another unit in the back, top, 2 actually. And then on the west side of the property, there's another unit there.
So that's
I
4.
believe there may be even 2.
Okay, 4 or 5.
I'm gonna guess 4.
Okay. Okay. That's what I
Philip,
wanted
do you know how many units?
No.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think Mark Jones has to do a re-inspection. I believe the first one failed, and they're supposed to schedule for an appointment for another inspection.
Okay.
Well, what is the city recommending?
We're just amending to the next cutoff to have permits in hand, issued, applied for, and
We'll go from there.
and go from there. And
Comments from the board?
Since I stepped in a little late, what, has most of the work been done, or none of the work's been done, or?
They removed the one staircase that was dangerous.
Oh, okay.
They took care of the there were life safety issues there.
Right.
And they took care of those, and that included removing stairs and securing the door.
Okay.
So nobody walked.
Right.
So those 2 things have been done. We're not aware that anything else has been done, correct?
Because when I walked in, I heard something regarding they can't afford something.
Right.
So, but if you got 4 units and they're all rented, you can't afford something. Some of the fixtures.
Yeah, but that's not up to how people afford things or don't afford things.
Okay.
It shouldn't be
All right.
part of what,
Excuse me.
Every day's a learning experience.
I
Thank
know,
you.
it's not your fault. We can't consider that really. Okay.
One of the downstairs units is not being rented.
Okay, that's
Okay,
fine.
okay, I just want to clarify that.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I
We
also
don't
want
need
to
to discuss
clarify
that.
one more point, please.
Okay, go ahead.
That there's been a lot of effort done in getting the place looking the way it does. I mean, we're putting goodwill effort towards doing what the city wants us to do. A lot of hard work has been done.
Right, okay.
And I don't want that to be overlooked.
Okay.
And that,
We won't overlook it.
okay, we're working with
We're
the city of
looking at
Daytona.
pictures.
We want to keep Daytona beautiful.
Good. Well,
Or make Daytona beautiful.
We're looking at pictures.
Okay.
Are these the original photographs that were taken? We don't have any.
We have
yes,
before and after.
no, it's the one with the towards the end where it shows the that one right there.
That's
We
it.
don't have any of what the interior looks like today.
I haven't gotten in the interior. The issue is that on the right-hand side where the number 544 is, that's all been done without permits. And along the side, there's plywood put up. It's not even completed. The overhang that was there, they did take that off. It was all rotted and it was in really bad shape. That's above the door in the front. They took that off and they fixed the fencing in the front. And they did a lot of painting. They was only allowed to really do painting. But like I said, I'm going to do a walkthrough with Mr. Snowden.
That's 544.
And see exactly what they're going to have to do.
And, that building is structurally sound. I mean, it's a very good, strong building. There's nothing wrong with the building itself.
All right.
Just one question. That's one building with 2 addresses.
542 and 544. Does it have 2 addresses?
Yes, that's what
It did have 2 addresses.
Yes.
Okay.
So we're dealing with
But our
5.
case isn't based on the
On
structure
542.
address. It's based on a parcel address.
Correct.
And that's a
Okay,
single
that's just
address.
the parcel
Yeah, and the
address.
the
Okay.
parcel came up as
That's good.
542.
Okay, no problem.
I don't understand how they can put another address on something that it's not.
It's not, I mean, sometimes it's just for a post office address.
Oh.
The post office, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
but
I
it's the same, it's the address, what counts is the address that's listed
split
on the
bill.
property appraiser's.
But if you go and you go on the property appraisers, if you put in 544 Ridgewood, what's going to come up? Nothing, not found?
I didn't find
Yeah.
anything. It came up as 542 as the parcel.
I just pulled it up. There is no 544 North Ridgewood, only south.
Right, and so that may just be a post office address.
Well, I
Since-
don't think you
since
can
this-
legally do that.
Well, I don't
Well,
know.
you
if that's
can't.
correct, But in
They
any sense-
require it sometimes, the
Yeah.
post office.
Well, when you divide a single-family home up into units, yeah, they will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are these apartments though legal through the city?
It doesn't seem like it.
We're starting to get off the,
Yeah,
All
we
right,
are.
so let's, all right, I think that's probably right. We're getting a little off what is on here, which is what we need right now. So you have to get permits by next time you come here. I think that's what the
Right.
consensus is. And
So
then,
next cutoff.
yeah, we're going to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until the next cutoff date, which is 10/2/2019, to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So second.
Okay, Ms. McLean made the motion. Ms. Himes, second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Oh, also it was Ms. Roby.
Ms. Roby.
I've done that.
Ms. Roby, Ms. Himes?
Yeah, Ms. Roby and Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign
You can
opposed.
chance to meet with him and talk with him.
That,
Okay.
okay.
We're done?
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I think you wanted to ask us something.
Anything else?
Yes. I thought it wasn't going to be more than $50 a day.
We didn't find it.
No, but I mean, projecting, it would be 1,000?
I'll
No, no, no.
Excuse me.
Up-
Okay,
That's
No
up.
fine.
Okay,
If
thank you.
there's no fine
Okay.
No fine today.
Okay,
That's
thank
the
you.
order of the board if necessary in the future.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you for explaining it to me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's try our new cases.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Case number 14, CEB 0919-182, James Singleton. Mr. Singleton available? Good.
Let me know.
State your name and address, please.
James Singleton. The property address is 547 North Ridgewood Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida 32214.
Morning.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this case is before you for determination of compliance or noncompliance. The inspector is Daniel Garcia. Mr. Garcia reports he's had no contact from the respondent. The property remains in noncompliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. I attend to Mr. Garcia.
Okay.
Inspector Garcia with the city, credentials on file, and it's the first time I've seen or spoken to, will speak to him, the owner of the property. Property has dirt and grime, peeling paint, it's faded, has a minor outside storage, and also has a broken window and another one that's covered, that's not even, it's just boarded.
Okay.
Occupied?
Non-occupied that I know of. I've never seen vehicles on the property or anything like that.
So, Mr. Singleton, you don't live there?
No, I live in Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, okay.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons it's not been taken care of.
Mm-hmm, well.
I've hired a couple people, but can't get anybody doing the work. You know.
It's tough sometimes, we know that, but it does need to get done. So you agree that there's work that needs to be done?
Yes.
Okay.
I have one question. I don't know where the peeling paint is.
Well, you would have to ask Mr. Garcia
I can
that.
always meet you on the property. You can see you on the property. It's on the south side.
It's on the south square. There's a building behind that building that has some peeling paint.
It's right on the other side. The north side is near the trees and whatnot. But basically, it's faded and the dirt and grime you have.
Okay.
Do you understand what he's saying? I think he's saying you just need to freshen it up and paint it or whatever. I think that's what he's saying. I'm not speaking for him, but.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Yeah, because I've had that shed taken down. That storage.
Yeah, I can speak to you afterward.
Okay.
Yeah, why don't you two get together?
Okay.
We're here today just to determine whether there's things that need to be done or not.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
so.
Okay.
Chair will entertain a motion by respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
Second.
Motion, Ms. McLean. Second?
Mr. Harrington. Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Harrington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay, so you try and meet with Mr. Garcia right now since you're in town. It would be a good time to do that.
Yeah, this one's it's in compliance. It just needs a will fine.
Wait a minute, so-
I'll be right with you.
Case number 15, CEB 0.
Excuse me a second, Mr. Singleton, over here. I just want to thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Case number 15, CEB 09-19-187, Marilyn Williams at 1124 Clearwater. Is anyone here for this case? Okay.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Daniel Garcia. Mr. Garcia reports that the property now is in compliance. The nature of the violation is one where it's not currently in violation, so he's asking for a finding of will find. Yes, a finding of compliance, non-compliance.
So we're asking for basically
A will find.
a will fine. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion by respondent previously in non-compliance, currently in compliance, or any future violation be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $5,000 per occurrence in case be dismissed.
Okay.
All right, that would be Ms. McLean made the motion. Ms. Himes the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Sorry, who was second?
What?
Okay.
All right. Case number 16, CEB 0919-214, Teresa Dinkins at 626 Fremont. Anyone appear today for that case?
Contact, still no contact? Correct. Okay. Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Cliff Reckenzone. Mr. Reckenzone reports that this property remains in non-compliance. He's had no contact from the respondent. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance.
Okay. Well, where's this? Height appearance standards, roofs and drainage, windows, door frames. First notified in May. Have you had any contact at all, Mr.
No.
Reckenzone? Huh? Wow. Okay.
Property had to be posted.
Mm-hmm.
Property had to be posted for all the notifications.
Was the board up on that front picture window before you took this picture? So it's been, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the roof caved in? Part of
The roof is damaged.
The neighbor did it?
And it's been
Nice
sided with the
neighbor.
roof also.
It's what? Oh,
It's damaged. You
a
can't
damage.
see
That's
it.
a hole in it, or is
No.
that a shadow?
A shadow.
That's
I
just
think that's the
Okay.
shadow.
But it's missing shingles.
I'd say.
Move to find this in non-compliance.
Yeah, we just need to find this and not, it's pretty simple. Okay.
Next cutoff.
Yeah. Chair will entertain motion by respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance on the next cutoff date 10/2/2019 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there
So
such a
moved.
motion? Motion, Ms. Himes, second.
It's a no.
Second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 17, CEB 0919-215. Terry Arba.
Did it for 1 month, so.
State your name and address,
Good morning.
please.
Morning. Terry Arva, 1436 Sunland Road, Daytona Beach.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Jackson.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. This is a situation where we had a permit expire, an expired permit that needed to do a fence. The fence was done after the expiration or whatever is being done, but it was being done without a valid permit. There's been no contact with the inspector other than the contact that was made back in May. And we're asking for a finding of non-compliance, next cutoff to come into compliance.
Okay. Mr. Reckons, what was the permit needed for?
They pulled a permit to put up a fence and repair their fence, and the permit expired 5/1. I made contact with them. They put an extension to 5/31. The permit is now expired again.
Okay. Do permits last different times? Or is it?
The permits are normally 6 months.
6 months. Okay, so.
But you can ask for extensions and.
Okay. Just a point of my information. Go ahead. What would you like to tell us, Mr. Arva?
Well, I've erected a fence up. This is going back. We have a problem with our neighbor. The fence was actually, when I bought the property, our fence, you can see, was connected. That little gap in the fence was connected, supposedly their fence. 35 years ago, before this happened, there was a chain link fence that ran along parallel with her property. So there was a fence that was already erected 35 years ago. What happened was the owners got together and decided, because they were friendly, they had a trap door going between the fences, they would take down the chain link fence and just connect it to their fence. Well, the owner, after so many years, I bought the property. She explained to me what they did, and I said, fine. She moved her daughter in. The daughter has given us a lot of problems. She's renting the property. She has been spreading poison on our plants. We've had 2 dogs that have died. I have police reports, many police reports. Cliff, you were out there and see the police reports about what this lady has been doing to our property. So I pulled a permit just because we could not get along with her. So I pulled a permit so we could get a fence put up. I erected a fence. It's 5 feet high. I got pictures of it.
Okay.
All I'm asking, if it's not up to code, is have Clifford or the inspection come out, tell me what has to be done, give me an ample time to do it, and we could gladly do it. I have pictures of the fence.
Okay, we're fine. I think that's reasonable. So I think, you need to definitely stay in touch with Mr. Reckenzon, and he can definitely tell you what you need to do. And if you need to reinstate your permit, then, you can go do that. Anything else, Mr. Reckenzon?
Yeah, we can work with them to
Okay.
get it in compliance.
So today, all we're doing is finding you in compliance or non-compliance, and it's not in compliance. So we'll give you till next month to get into compliance, renew the permit, whatever you need to do.
Well, how much time is that exactly? I mean, there's a fence up. I can show you the fence is erected to protect the property, because I have a pool. So you don't have a picture there, but
With
can I
Mr.
approach?
Reckenzon,
So we can't determine ourselves, to tell you what exactly to do without, it's really up to the code enforcement department to tell us what needs to be done and to tell you what needs to be done. So if you get with Mr. Reckenzone, he will be able to explain to you exactly what needs to be done.
Just give you a call.
And then you should, if you can do it right now, it'd be great. So you know, because you're here, you can go down and get a permit or apply for a permit or do whatever you need to do right now. Or renew the permit or whatever it is that needs to be done. And so all we're doing today is finding you in compliance or non-compliance. You're not in compliance. And we're going to ask you to come into compliance by the next cutoff date. If there is a problem, you can come back and explain that to us. If the problem is on the city side or your side or whatever happens, and we'll reconsider it at that point.
Okay.
Or we could do 2 months and be done with it. What is your recommendation?
I'm going to walk downstairs and take care of it with him today. It should be in compliance before next call.
Right. Okay. Is that all right with everybody? Okay.
Yes. So moved.
All right. Chair will entertain a motion if I respond to non-compliance and respond to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, to be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Mrs. Himes made the motion. Mr. Harrington the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Thank you. So just get with Mr.
I missed the motion. Mr. Harrington was second. Okay.
Yeah.
You have to speak up, Ms. Himes.
Okay.
Okay. So just please get with Mr. Reckenzone.
Okay.
And I'm sure you'll get it taken care of. Case number 18, CEB 0919-212, Kimberly Mount.
Madam Chair, members of the board.
Is that Ms. Mount coming up?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
State your name and address, please.
Kimberly Mount, 418 Maple Street, Daytona Beach.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Jackson.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Sarah Kirk. Ms. Kirk reports that the property remains in non-compliance. She's had no contact from the respondent, and she believes this can come into compliance by next cutoff. I will tend to Ms. Kirk if you have any factual questions.
Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Anyone have any questions for Ms. Kirk?
Was this complaint driven?
My name's Sarah Kirk, Code Enforcement with the city. It was field generated because of the broken windows. That's what really stuck out, and peeling paint.
Okay.
What's the status, if I may?
Well, has any work been done that you've noticed?
Actually, I went by there yesterday, and they have started work on it with the peeling paint.
All right. Ms. Mount, do you live there?
No.
But you own the property.
I do.
Is it rented? Is there
Yes.
anyone living there?
Yes,
So you have a tenant?
I do.
Okay, thank you.
How long
You're
has the
welcome.
tenant been there with the broken windows?
I think the windows have been broken for 30 days.
Okay, go ahead. You tell us what you'd like. Go ahead.
Yes, so I just noticed the paperwork posted on the property prior to the storm. So no excuses, but I did immediately begin work. So all the peeling paint, that has been completed. The building is 95% completed with paint. And the windows will be completed in the next 2 weeks. The fence, the dilapidated fence, that has been taken down, as you can see in the pictures. And in 2 weeks, this will be the best-looking property on the block.
Good.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you. We
you.
appreciate your effort.
Thank you.
So it's not in compliance yet, but it will be, so we're going to, Chair will entertain a motion to, does anybody have any questions? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance and a respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
Move.
Motion. Okay, motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, case number 19. CEB 09-19-211, Matilda Riley. Is anyone here for this case?
Oh, no. Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Sarah Kirk. Ms. Kirk reports that this property is in non-compliance. She's had contact with a tenant, but no contact with the respondent. I don't know if she's had contact with the tenant. She did have contact with everyone. No, I'm incorrect. And then there's tenant occupied, and I tend to Ms. Kirk.
Okay.
Take a break, too.
Yeah, we will after this. Okay, Ms. Kirk, is this a single-family home? Is this a duplex? What is it?
It's a single family. It is rented.
And it's rented out?
Yes.
People are living there?
Yes.
But it is not Matilda that lives there?
No.
Okay.
There is a separate case for a no rental license. Or actually, I think I have that on here too.
Oh, okay, 19 and 20, we'll hear those. Okay. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions. Okay, go ahead.
I'll wait for her to finish. Yes, have you noticed any improvements made?
There has been a little improvement. Just some of the outside storage has been removed, some of it. There has been police activity at this address. So the owner, she's working on, from what I understand, she's working on getting the tenants out and possibly a contractor. She wants to get a contractor in there. But other than that, that's the only progress that's been made.
So basically, what she was noticed for is all still in play.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
This is all tenant property then that's around scattered? Okay.
Well, but there are a lot of other things that aren't tenant-related that are property owner-related, you can see from those pictures, so. Getting rid of
keeps their own stuff.
Right, that
Yeah, getting rid of the tenant is not going to fix all of the issues with the house, so.
File or non-compliance.
Okay. Mr. Harrington made the motion to find the respondent in non-compliance and the respondent to come into compliance with the next cutoff date and return to the board for consideration for fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second?
No, second.
Okay, second, Ms. McLean. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you.
And, okay, then we have case number 20. Which is the same person, oh no, it's a different property, isn't it?
Different property,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Yes, Madam Chair, the inspector in that case is Mark Jones for the rental license inspection. As you see, also they need a business tax receipt. Mr. Jones' report said it remains in non-compliance, and I will tender Mr. Jones as to any factual questions.
Okay. Morning again.
Morning.
Mr. Jones, what is it that needs to be done on this property?
Well, a violation notice was generated and was signed for on May 8th.
Yeah.
That day I received a call from the owner. She notified me that she was going to sell the property but would go ahead and apply for the rental license the next day. No license has been applied for. She has not sold the property, and she called me this past Monday, and said that it's just relatives living there now, and she's not paying rent. I have no way to verify it at this time, so I'm looking for finding of non-compliance.
Yeah.
Motion to find them in non-compliance.
All right, Mr. Harrington made the motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned to, which is 10/2/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, second, Ms. McLean, all in favor say aye.
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 Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, since it's 11 o'clock, we'll take a break, 5-minute break. Anyone that's here to have their case heard, please come up and talk to our board secretary, Ms. Barnes, and we'll get you in order. So you don't have to wait for all the people that didn't bother to show up. Reconvene the meeting at 11:10. All right, case number 24, CEB 0919-181. Key Store and Kavita. We're doing the people that are here now. Okay. Bupati. Case number 24.
Okay. State your name and your relation to.
Good morning. I'm Paula Meneses. I'm the
Paula
Meneses, Meneses. And I'm the property manager for Kishore Bupati.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Jackson.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Jerome McCoy. Mr. McCoy reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He's had contact with them. They have a tenant situation where they're working on an eviction to last he knows. But it's in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. I don't know the stage of the eviction. We'll have to hear from the respondent. And
How much work needs to be done?
McCoy.
Mr. McCoy, come on up. Good morning.
Good morning. Jerome McCoy, Code Inspector for the city. My credentials are on file. Don't know how much work need to be done. They pay for the license.
Right.
However, no inspection has been committed at this time, so waiting for them to go through the process with the tenant, and then I can be scheduled to do an inspection.
How long have you been property manager?
For this property or in general?
No, this.
Probably about 3 months.
Fine.
The tenants were in place when I took over.
I just fascinating how people can rent a house for a year, 6 months or whatever, and then suddenly we discover they don't have the license and we can't do anything about it because they haven't had an inspection.
Right. What happened with this particular property is that I manage properties in Polk County, Seminole, Lake, Orange, Osceola, and Volusia now. And this is the only county that requires that for properties that are long-term rentals. All the other counties require these licenses when they are rented for shorter than 7 months. So this was new to us and to the owner. We didn't really know.
You want to educate all of your clients.
I am. I sent them the application right away.
Licenses here. We will
Yes.
enforce them.
I emailed them all, saying, if you have a property that I don't know about, please do this.
All right, let me ask you a question. So there are tenants in there. What is the status of the tenant?
Well, it seems to us that the tenants didn't want to pay rent really because we have invoices for all the repairs that have been done. Some of them have been done twice and 3 times. But every time we go, there are doors out of the hinge or...
So what, are you evicting them?
We are evicting them now. The eviction
What
is
stage
in process.
of the process are you in?
They were served. We're waiting for the writ of possession.
Okay.
But as I believe Mr. McCoy was there yesterday, and they were moving things, so I'm assuming they won't finalize that process and they will leave before.
That's fine. That's always the best outcome. Isn't it?
Yes.
Quicker. All right.
Question.
So I'll get right to you. But are there things outside, Mr. McCoy, that need to be done?
I mean, as far as like lawn care and
Okay.
I don't see any
Okay. it's
broken
just
windows
that-
or anything
okay.
from.
Okay. So okay. That's fine. All right, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Mr. McCoy, what I see here as a violation is failure to obtain business tax receipt. What does,
Business tax receipt.
receipt, right?
It's
That-
attached to the rental license.
Okay,
Once they apply for the rental license, it's part of the
right. And so then it's failure to obtain the rental license.
yes, and that's part that they paid for the license.
Right.
But part of the process has to be completed, which
Right.
requires the rental.
Well, that would be the owner or the manager, not the tenant?
Well, no, it's never the tenant. The
Right.
owner hires the property manager.
Right.
The owner hires the property manager, and then they proceed.
Right, because what I'm hearing is we're working on an eviction, but I'm not hearing an explanation about the failure to obtain the business tax receipt or the failure to obtain the rental license.
Right.
Because that's what I'm looking at, yeah.
May I say something? Well, that was correct. We did complete the application and pay all the necessary fees. In order for the inspector to process that, he needs to perform that inspection. He tried a few times, and the first time they were either not there or they just didn't open. I don't know. And yesterday, when he tried again, they were moving things around because it seems like they are moving out. But we've been in contact, and I mean, we were trying to correct this. We just have to wait for the tenants to move out.
All right, Chair, I'll entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance or respondent to commit to compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, and be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Mrs. Hyde, second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay, so hopefully they'll be gone and you can get this and you stay in touch with Mr. McCoy.
When they're out of the place, you got rid of eviction, and they're out, just let Mr. McCoy know.
Right.
I will. Do we? Are we gonna have enough time to finish the eviction process or get the writ of possession
Well,
and then
Just
repair?
make sure you stay in touch with Mr. McCoy.
Okay.
I mean, when they're gone, when you want the inspection, all of that.
Yeah, I think at this point, since we don't know what repairs are needed,
Right,
we
we
haven't been in there.
I
So
don't
we'll-
either.
we'll-
Right.
We'll know
Okay,
once.
and then we'll figure out all that next time.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Case number 25, CEV 0919-183, James Chester and Barbara Jones. Please come forward. Morning.
Morning.
Morning. State your name and address, please.
Barbara Jones, 2930 Marsh Road, DeLand, Florida.
Okay, and are you going to testify as well?
Yes,
James Jones, same address.
Okay. And
James Hamilton,
your relation?
I managed the bill.
Raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Okay. You may need to speak into this microphone.
All right, just wait. We'll hear from Cole first, then we'll give you a chance to.
Yeah.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or noncompliance. The inspector is Jerome McCoy. Mr. McCoy reports that the property remains in noncompliance. He has had no contact with the respondent until today, but he says that they appear to be doing some work, but they're in noncompliance at this time. So he asked that you find them in noncompliance and give them until next cutoff to come into compliance. Not tender, Mr. McCoy.
McCoy. What can you tell us about this? Is this, first of all, is this a business property? Are there
Yes.
any
It's a
tenants?
Commercial property.
It is
Commercial
yes.
property, are there any tenants?
No.
There's no tenants involved. They do have a re-roof permit,
They have a what?
re-roof
Okay.
permit, and they're beginning to work on it. But the issues with the windows on some of them are still broken out. And there's some paint issues and electrical, that with exposed wiring with some of the lights.
Yeah, the electric's not on here, so,
Well, strike that.
roof paint windows permits.
I'm on the wrong page. Okay. Yeah. It's just the roof paint and the windows and the permit, and they've already
Right.
they've already
Okay.
obtained the permit.
All right, what would you like to say?
Good morning. First of all, we have, I think the initial problem for us was that the notice was sent to our address in Maryland. We haven't lived there for 3 years.
That notice was sent to you because that's the way it's listed on the Volusia property
Apparently,
owners,
yes.
and that's up to you to,
Well, we do get some notices, but apparently this one we didn't get.
Okay.
So actually, last week, we were first apprised of the fact that there was a notice attached to 537. This actually has 3 different addresses. So 537 is the one on the end, and we had a tenant up until maybe February. It's now vacant, and all the stalls are actually vacant now. So once we understood that there was a notice, we did take some action. We already had a roofing contract in place, and they are in the process of completing, hopefully by this week, they'll have the roof completed. We will be addressing the windows, and I'm not sure of the electrical. We'll get with Mr. McCoy. If there is any electrical issues, we'll certainly address that. And we're just requesting about maybe 3 months to complete all of the work that needs to be done so that we are completely in compliance.
Yeah, and we would have addressed those issues once the notice came out initially. We would have then addressed them, but because we did not receive the correspondence, we had we weren't aware. So it wasn't negligence in terms of us just ignoring it, waiting for you to cite us with this hearing here. We wouldn't be here had the mail gone to our Marsh Road address in DeLand.
Have you contacted Volusia County? And
We
told them
will do
Yeah,
that
well,
today.
they send our taxes, they send everything else. I don't understand why they send a tax bill to our home, but yet,
that is strange.
but yet they won't send other correspondence.
Right.
Yeah, money, yeah.
We asked
Mr. Harrington?
for a progress report, say 60 days, a compliance date of 90 days.
Okay. Well, all right, in fact, go ahead. Say what
I'm looking at 2 things here. I'm looking at roof paint.
Well, it's not on we don't have to look at that because it's not on here.
I heard it mentioned.
Okay,
and
okay.
she was saying
Right.
something. Okay.
If I could just clarify, Mr. McCoy indicated he was looking at a different case. He didn't mean the state election.
Oh, okay.
It's not even relevant.
That's better.
Okay.
Okay,
Question.
go ahead, Mr. Gonzalez.
So the only issues left I hear that the windows were fixed, is that correct?
The windows will be fixed.
Oh, will be
Have to
fixed.
start- Yes.
And was the paint needs to be
We're not
done?
sure about the painting. We'll have to have Mr. McCoy point out the areas that he believes need to be painted.
And where we at with the roof?
The roofing is in process of being completed, and the contractor said that should have been finished yesterday, but they will be finished hopefully this week.
There's a re-inspection scheduled for the 10th for the roof.
And you have the window permits and,
We're not replacing the frames of the windows,
Oh,
so
okay, so
I
that
don't
isn't
think
that-
we need a permit,
Yeah.
yes.
yeah.
Mr. Chester, is there anything you'd like to say? Well,
Over there, Mr. Pounce, yeah.
Oh,
Just
I'm
that-
sorry.
It's a work in progress. I've been working
Okay.
on the inside, I've been working on some things, and like they were saying, if we knew that we had time, so we were doing it slow motion, but now we know we have a time frame here, so we're gonna expedite a lot of this. And the 90 days that we're asking for, primarily for the signage, there's an article here that we're cited for the signage. And now that signage, we were thinking about retrofitting that with the existing business, so that way so we're working on the signs. It's a few things here
There's a lot of things.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's that.
Well,
As
I mean,
you
but
know,
all,
this is
what's here that's
Is the only
not
thing
in
that-
compliance is roof, paint, windows, and
And that's-
permits applied for. And if we gave you 2 months to do that and get that done, since the roof is almost done, you just need the other things, then whatever is on here as the violation would be taken care of.
Yes, it would be.
Oh, okay. All right. Sure, is that's acceptable? All right. All right, Mrs. Himes, made a motion to find respondent non-compliance and or respondent come into compliance by 11/6/2019 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sign
Well,
motion carries.
I'm sorry, the 11, you said 11/16, that's the,
Isn't that it, 11/6?
that's the cutoff day?
Yeah, that's the November cut.
We gave them
So we gave them 2
Not
months.
11/6, right?
11/6.
It's the cutoff. Okay, I thought you said 11.
No,
16.
I think I did, I don't know.
Yeah, you
Oh,
did.
11/6/2019.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you give me your current address and I'll make
Okay, case
Yes.
number 28 on page 9. CEB 0919-193, Mark Dowse. Respondent
Mr. Dowse?
present?
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
We have 28.
what?
28.
We're on 28. That's on page 9. Okay.
State your name and relation.
I am Mark Dowse, property manager. Janessa Whalen.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Correct. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Now, Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Jerome McCoy. Mr. McCoy reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. He has had some contact with the respondent. I would tender Mr. McCoy.
Anyone living in this property, Mr. McCoy?
Yes, it is tenant occupied. I conducted an inspection over there yesterday. I've conducted several inspections. This is also attached to a rental license. And 2 of the units have passed, but it's 2 other
So there's
units.
been
that-
progress made.
Right, it has been progress. The owner
big
put a new
project.
roof on the building, and it's some rotted materials on the outside that needs to be removed and replaced. Also on the inside, there's some leakage in one of the upstairs apartments that's coming down.
How many apartments are in the building?
There's four units in the building.
2 of the 4 have passed inspection.
Yes.
So, how long have you been property manager?
A year?
Oh, that's in December.
Yes.
You rent properties out to people with the building in this condition?
Like I said, I came in and the tenants already were all in place. Yeah, I just took over the management.
Okay.
That was when I met Jerome there for the first time in December. That was the first time I actually saw the property and was blown away. We have pumped so much money into this place.
Good.
It was like
Well, it's the owner that it actually is, you're not here.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the owner.
I'm sure they're taking money out too, so.
But nevertheless, it's not up to property owner, I mean, the property manager to fix the property, it's up to the owner to fix the property. We're not holding you accountable for the.
No, I'm not holding you accountable, I'm holding you to professional level, that you don't want to rent to people as a representative
No,
of properties in
that's
that
not-
condition. Sorry.
Okay,
I have a question.
go ahead, Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, so, as just pointed out by Mr. Harrington, this goes back to last year. I mean, we're almost in December again, so it's almost been a year. And I just want to check and see because I'm not sure, you have 4 units, 2 passed, is that right?
That's correct.
Then you have a list of a roof leak, which I saw a roof leak.
We replaced the whole roof.
But I saw a leak in the picture here.
Yeah, the issue right now is, and Unit 3 actually would have passed too. We couldn't get in yesterday. The tenant wasn't there. But long story short, there's a leaking coming from Unit on 214 Unit 2 to the under the bathroom downstairs, and it looks like the closet. We are working on it right now. It's a mystery. We have had 3 people in there to try and figure it out because we did want to have it all figured out before. We didn't even want to have to show up here. But we have not been able to figure out where the leak is coming from. It's not the
its own path.
Right, yeah, it's not from the roof though. That much we know. So right now we are going to be hiring another plumber to see if we can get it taken care of. I'm actually here today to ask for a little bit more time so that I can get it.
I'm sorry, but I haven't finished.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Okay. The electrical system hazards, where are we at with that?
All taken care of.
Okay. Junk vehicles.
That's all taken care of.
Exterior walls.
I can take that. That's the rotted materials that I spoke of that need to be removed and replaced.
Okay. Structural appearance standards.
We have taken care of almost all the wood rot. And are you talking about the exterior?
On the rear.
On the rear.
Yes. The wood rot. That's part of the materials on the outside.
Yeah, so we are almost all complete with that. We have replaced a lot of it, but there is still a couple areas that need to be taken care of.
And so loose and rotting materials, is that the same?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
How much more time do you think you need?
A month or 2?
Obviously, they're working on it.
Yeah.
And just to come back next month, say you're almost done, don't know whether that's necessary. But if we say 2 months, then it needs to be done.
Right.
2 months.
Yes.
Okay. If there are no other comments, Ms. Himes made non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 11/6/2019 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye. Aye. Like sign opposed.
Nay.
Two nays. 2 nays. Motion passes. So case number 29, CEB 0919177, Marie Tompkin. Union Street. Comes that. Morning.
State your name and address, please.
Marie Tompkins, 327 Dealey Street, Daytona Beach, Florida.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I affirm.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is John Stinson. Mr. Stinson reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. And I would tender Mr. Stinson.
All right, Mr. Stinson. Good morning.
Good morning. John Stinson, Code Inspector with the City. My qualifications are on file.
Is the roof fixed?
No. This property, this case came to me. Where are we at now? I thought we were doing Lakewood.
What roof?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, give me a second.
Parking in the yard
Parking
and
in the yard.
dilapidated roof.
Okay, the roof issues are the actual fascia board when the pictures are gonna cycle. It's the fascia, it's the white trim along the top. And that van is the parking violation.
Okay, and that still exists as of 9/12/2019.
Yes.
So, you're saying that is the facial
Yes,
not the roof?
correct.
It's a fascia board.
No, I don't understand, I don't know
No,
what
that's
a
okay,
facial
it's just
board.
that white board. You talk to
There
Mr.
you go.
Stenson and
See that?
he'll explain that to you. It's just that white
board
Mr.
around.
Stenson can explain.
I'll explain it, yes.
But my whole house been painted since you posted it. My whole house been painted since then.
Since when?
Since you first posted on the.
Okay, all right. Now,
We can
you
do a
tell us
reinspection
what
on
you'd
it.
like to tell us, Ms. Tompkins. Do you live there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Tell us what you'd like to tell us.
All that white around my house and the yellow, all of that has been painted.
Okay, well,
All the way around the
okay,
house.
well,
New wood
he'll
and-
come and re-inspect for you. And how about that van?
No, the van, I had moved it, as a man supposed to picked it up. And so we moved it to the front so that he could put it on a long bed. But then he went back to Jacksonville, he never came to pick it up. So I'm being fined for it, so I'm gonna just call Yaki, have Yaki pick it up.
Okay, that's fine. So, so you need to at least fix that issue and probably the other issue that Mr. Stenson's I don't know, I can't see from that picture what, it's up to Mr. Stenson to
I'll
determine
explain
that,
it.
but we'll give you till next month to get those two things done or whatever it needs to be done, okay? Chair will entertain motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mrs. Himes, second. Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, case,
have Ms. Madden, who's the caretaker for her parents, and she's basically referring would it be possible
Yes.
to move her up so that she can get,
yes.
sorry.
I'm the daughter. I'm Terry Herta. HUERTA. It's at 1180 Del Meso.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Jackson, we are on everybody else. We're on case number 31. We will go back to 30 next case.
Yes.
On page 10.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or noncompliance. The inspector is John Stinson. Mr. Stinson reports that the property remains in noncompliance. Appears that he had a rental inspection scheduled for 9/16.
That's the reinspection.
Yeah, the reinspection. So this information, but he believes that they can be in compliance by next cutoff.
However, there is one issue that, as far as compliance, is out of my control.
What is that?
The tenant has a car without a license, and she's been told that she has to have a license, a tag put on the back of the car. She's now backed it into the driveway, so you can't see if there's a license plate on it or not from the street. Everything else has been done. It has been done since August 25th. So I don't know what I'm supposed to do about this car.
That would be a legal issue, and we can advise you what to do with the car.
But I'm going to fail another inspection if that car's still there, and as of yesterday, it was still there.
I think maybe you could talk to Mr. Stenson about that. What?
Okay, I'll let you.
Yeah, we're talking about Del Meso?
Yes, there are no cars parked on the property other than on the driveway. None on, this car's, never saw that one. Never saw that one.
I'll take a look at them.
But it's like a maroonish color that she's backed into the driveway that you can't see that there's no tag. It's not that one. I don't even.
Do we have the right property?
Yes, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I messed everything up there.
I'll go by and take a look at vehicles, ma'am.
Okay, that
If I
would be
can address
great.
them, I will.
Okay.
Okay. She's great with excuses.
Yeah, well, you know.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate that.
Okay, so, if it's acceptable, the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date.
So moved.
To 2019.
Second.
Yeah, we have another inspection Monday.
Okay, so you should be,
I should be fine except for the car.
okay, who made the motion? Harrington?
I think so. I second.
And, all right, this will be seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you very much.
All right, now we'll go back to case 30, which is on page 9. That is Rosalie Riley.
30?
Bottom of page 9, case 30. PEB 09-19-186.
State your name and address, please.
Hi, my name's Kelly Riley, 1132 Lakewood Park Drive.
Solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is John Stinson. Mr. Stinson reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He has been in contact with Ms. Riley, and I'll attend to Mr. Stinson.
Morning again, John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. This case came as a result of one of the code walks that we performed. There's a lot more going on with this property than it actually seems. There's definitely issues with the roof and the foundation. There appears to be a sinkhole in that area. This is the third house that's been affected by this one. Ms. Riley also has some other issues going on with her finances, but just fixing the roof isn't going to bring this property into compliance. And I'll let Ms. Riley explain the rest.
Hi.
Hi.
Last year, my mom and I decided to try to give the house back to the mortgage company because of the structural problems on the house.
So you're not Rosalie?
No, I'm Kelly. I'm her daughter.
You're the daughter?
Yeah.
And your name?
Kelly.
Kelly.
Okay.
And they told us that because the house has to be move-in ready and it's a federally backed loan, that they won't just take it back. So we had to go into foreclosure. So that's where we're at right now. We are in foreclosure. We were served May 28th. We go next week to our foreclosure hearing, which is the 18th at 9 a.m. at the courthouse. This wasn't made lightly. We've lived there since 1968. And, sorry. It's a little depressing that we couldn't.
Live there now?
Yeah. So I have to get my mom out of this house. My mom is 77 now. And, we didn't know what to do. We're underwater on the house, big time. We owe approximately $184,000 on a house that, maybe $75,000 on a good day. So, the house is all paid off in '99. My dad's deceased, and he turned around and he put a first and a second.
I'm sorry for all of your problems.
So,
Sinkhole, did you say?
yes, it was between our two houses.
Where
And it's predominantly under our house.
where is this? Just out of my own, where is the house? What neighborhood?
Lakewood Park.
It's between 3rd and 5th Streets, between Jimmy Ann and Derbyshire,
Oh, and there's sinkholes there. Wow.
apparently.
Okay, so your hearing is next week, and then you will no longer own the house, the bank will own the house, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're gonna, I think under the circumstances, we'll find you in non-compliance, and then, or, what would be the best thing to do here?
Not in non-compliance, because she's still the owner at the present time.
Right.
Set up somewhere down the line and
Like 3
notice the
months.
bank.
Yeah, the process will be a little longer than the next cutoff. But,
Right.
But yeah, it's, all we can do is move forward, at least on finding a noncompliance.
And I don't think it makes any sense to fine them because they're going to lose the house anyway.
I agree.
Yeah.
One way or the other.
No, we're not gonna find it.
Yeah, we're not at the stage of asking about a fine, or asking for a fine.
Yeah.
Right.
But,
I just wanted to share my opinion.
yeah, I'm not telling.
There's a list pending filed against the house anyway, which would make our fine null and void anyway.
So we just want to
So what would be the appropriate motion right now? Just finding
non-compliance.
Non-compliance and extend it
Give it a couple months, come in compliance. same as always.
Right.
Okay.
Let her bring back something from the bank. That'll
Okay.
seal it.
Okay. All right, Chair, I'll entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 11/6/2019 and be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. And that's
Nothing for you.
2 months, you come back and you don't own the house anymore or whatever, then that's a different issue.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry for your problems.
Motion
All right,
complete.
Motion, Ms. Roby. Motion made by Ms. Roby, second. Second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, and opposed. I'm a little ahead of myself. Okay. That was 30. We have 31. Now we're on 32. That is on page 10. These are all people. These are all people that are here. But all I can do is go through the list. Yeah, 32. Which is CEB 0919-173, Hima Vasquez.
What's your name and address, please?
Nancy Koenig, 402 Seabreeze Boulevard, Suite 1, Daytona Beach, 32118.
Your relation to...
Property manager.
Madam Chairman. Ready? Yeah. Yes. Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mark Jones. Mr. Jones reports the property remains in non-compliance, and he's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. And at the time he cited the property, it was occupied, and it was being used as rental property. Attend to Mr. Jones.
So, Mr. Jones, I'm guessing that, has there been a rental inspection?
No, there has not. This was originally noticed back in May when the property was occupied. Did visit again in July, and it was still occupied, but on my visit this last week, it appears that it's vacant. I have talked with the property manager, and she states it also is vacant, but it still has a requirement of getting a rental license.
Right. So in July, so would you go over those dates again? In July, you did a...
I was back at the property on July 9th, I believe it was.
Okay.
And the property was still occupied. But as of my visit this week, it appears vacant.
So did anyone call for a rental inspection?
Well, they haven't even applied for the rental license.
Okay.
They have an active business tax license, but not a rental
All right.
license.
Okay, Ms. Koenig, what would you like to tell us?
The property has been vacant for a number of months. It is not ready to be rented. We are not marketing it for a rental. I do have an application with me, although we're not marketing to rent at this time.
But it was rented before when he cited it back in May.
Evidently it was. It's a newer property for us. Mm-hmm. And it has been vacant since the beginning of July.
The owner's intention is to re-rent it?
Yes, it is. It's just not ready yet. We need to put a new air conditioning system in, and we're waiting for the permit on that.
How long have you been managing the property?
It's a newer property for us. I couldn't say I didn't bring my file, but we do manage a number of properties in the city, and they all are part of the program.
And as managing the property, you try to make sure the permits and all that is in place?
That what?
Permits is in place. Or is it the
No,
owner?
we need a new AC and we need a permit to get the new AC put in. That's why we didn't get the rental license yet, because it's not ready to be inspected.
Well, I mean, this was cited back when Gemma wasn't using you, so.
And again, evidently she did not receive the notice. I only found out about it because I went to the property after the storm to check on it, and I guess Mark had taped the notice to the door about the hearing.
Okay, well, I would contact Gemma, and, because we have to, I mean, we're going to find it in non-compliance, but we have to find the compliance date to get it in compliance, whether you're ready to market it or not.
Well, if it's currently not rental property,
But the intention is to rent it?
yes,
kind of-
when we get it ready. I do have the application with me, and I'm going to go on downstairs after.
All right, what is the recommendation from the city?
Next cut off. Non-compliance, next cut off to come into compliance.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the next what?
Cut off, the next
Okay,
off date.
no problem.
Okay. All right.
Thank
Cheryl,
you.
entertain a motion to
October
find
2nd.
respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
I'll move.
I'll move.
All right.
That's October 2nd.
Motion, Mr. Roby, second, Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Yeah, and if that's the problem, we'll acknowledge that.
That's more a legal issue than we need to deal with, you know?
Thank you.
Okay, bye. All right, now we are case number 36?
33, isn't it? Or-
No,
oh,
36.
people, sorry.
We're skipping to case 36 because they're here.
I'm trying.
And that's on page 11. And that case number is CEB 0919194, Jose Percy. Percy here? Yeah. Good, please come forward.
Jose Percy, 223 Madison Avenue.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mark Jones. Mr. Jones reports that this property is in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. And I attend to Mr. Jones. There are some explanation that he had to give to the respondent, some things they may not have been aware of.
Yes, as of this morning, I met Mr. Percy. He was under the assumption that he had a 5-unit rental license, which would have been done by the state for this property, but it was for an address at 227 Madison. This address here is 219, 223 Madison, and it has 2 rental units. So where I am today is he has not applied for his BT or his RTL on this one.
All right, and which of course means then we haven't set up an inspection date or anything.
No, not
like
until he
that.
gets the application in and it's
Mr. Percy,
approved.
what would you like to tell us?
Excuse me, please. I have an application there since.
You have an application for a different property, which is not this property.
So do you all, you own a different property?
I don't understand and how it is because the state come to me and I said.
Not the same property?
Yeah, but yes, to me it is because it's included the 223,
So you
227.
have 3 in one house and 2 in another? is what you're
Yes,
saying?
to me it's just
Ah.
one property. When I got it, I just bought
And
one
it's on
property.
one parcel?
Yes, one. To me
No,
it is.
that's the problem. It is on 2 parcels.
Oh, that is the
But
problem.
when the state come to me and they come with
I
the
know.
papers, they said they had previously with the
He
previous
couldn't
owner
get it.
5.
Right.
That's what I paid for.
Right, I get it.
But I got here too. I paid for it again. Down there.
Paid
Yes.
for- Where do you pay for the staff? This
For
is
what?
confusing me right
Yes, it
now,
is.
so let's get this
And-
squared away here.
This is one where I think Mr. Sinos probably would be ready to speak up, but We had this situation that we just resolved with another case with magistrate, same circumstance.
Okay.
And that's that there's two parcels that are side by side. And
Right.
the owner in that case had always operated as though this was one parcel.
Right.
And all the units were counted as one.
Right.
Even though there were two separate parcels.
Right.
As two separate parcels, they fit into our jurisdiction. If he took it as one parcel, it was in the state jurisdiction.
Right.
Right now, his mindset is that he's in one parcel. We don't know that. We would need a use determination to find out from our zoning officer whether or not he is going to be required to consolidate those or if he can, and that's going to be based on his history of use and those types of things, which at this time we don't know. But what we do know is that there are two separate parcels, and the structures are on the two separate parcels.
Right, but it's
Yeah.
confusing legal question, I think.
Yeah, the ultimate remedy was that the
And
property had
does
to be
he actually
consolidated.
have a state license?
Yes. Yeah. And
So obviously, there's some confusion between the agencies as to whether this is one parcel or two parcels, and we can't make that determination, so I don't see any way for us to move forward without some guidance from one or the other.
Yeah, I probably agree. I don't
We
agree
need
that
what?
we're confused,
From
but
the zoning people if it's one or two. Or if it's two.
Or the state.
You want to combine it.
I mean.
Well,
and I'm sorry, and I have paid down here for 5 units. The
business tax.
So you pay the state business tax, or you just have a business
No,
tax?
I already paid the states, and right now, it's not now, it's about 2 months ago, I paid again down here for the 5 units.
We'll be able to determine that. That's
Okay,
possible.
so how about if we just continue the case?
Yeah,
Until next month, and we
I
get
have
this.
no idea how to proceed.
Yeah.
I think you need, well, I can't tell you.
Why don't
I
we
do not
continue
know,
it?
because I
Let
have
Mr.
applied.
Jackson figure it out.
I did,
Okay, I think,
and I have inspection done.
Sit down with staff.
I don't know.
Sit down with staff. Let's-
sit down with staff, because we can't advise you how to. I
Mhm.
see that what the problem is, and there are different agencies dealing with the issue, so that you need, that's it, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I can say
But we
this,
can't do anything about it.
yeah, based on how we resolved it before, once the determination is made, we'll give an instruction on what needs to be done,
Okay.
or we'll
Bring it back.
And we'll
dismiss
bring
it
it back.
if it's something that's already resolved.
So
Right now, we're just going to
227 has
continue
3
the case
units.
until this becomes clear to you
Okay, and
and
223
everyone.
has 2 units.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, motion.
Okay. Ms. Hines has made a motion to continue the case until 10/2/2019.
Second.
I think we should do 11/6.
So we need the date of the hearing, not the date of the, 10/10.
10/10, right? 10/10? All right,
It'll take them longer than that to go through the.
I'd like to make a friendly amendment
Go ahead.
to the motion and go along with the 11,
that was it would be the 11/14 meeting.
right,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll do that. We'll amend the motion to 11/14/2019. Okay, so who made that? Ms. Hines made the motion and accepts the amendment. And is there a second? Okay, Ms. Roby seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Now we're on case 38. That would be Lauren Anthony and Shawnee Vet Brockington at 1054 Michael Road.
What is the case,
Some of you get to sit here till the end, I'm sorry. I don't know how else to do
what is
it.
the case number, please?
This case number is 38, on the bottom of page 11.
Sean Williams, 1054 Michael Road, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I'm sorry, this is number 38?
Yes.
Okay, and you were here on behalf of?
She's an owner.
I'm the owner.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Okay. Oh, I heard Michael, but that's Michael Road, I got you.
Right.
No, I'm good, thank you.
Okay.
Had to read more. This is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that the property remains in noncompliance, and he's asking for next cutoff for the property to come into compliance. Tender Mr. Fitzgerald appears he may have some newer information on my last conversation.
Morning, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Good morning, Mike Fitzgerald, City of Daytona Beach Code Enforcement. My credentials are on file with the city. I guess this property is vacant, and it's I guess they had a fire there a long time ago.
Yeah, insurance issues. The contractor had stole my money. Oh, sorry. The contractor had stole my money, so it's a battle with that because the contractor was from out of Miami, and they having a hard time getting in touch with him. And the mortgage company, I do have an escrow account, and they giving me a hard time to release the monies to me until we get that issue resolved with the contractor, which I don't know what that has to do with it, but that's what they taking me through. All the things that I was able to do, I did do. I still have to, I'm waiting on the mortgage company to approve for me to get the fascia and soffit done. So I don't think I'll be in compliance by the next one, but probably after that. So the November
You'll have
date,
everything taken care of that's on this list?
hopefully by November.
How much of this, you said you'd already done some of it. What have you done so far?
I put the numbers on the house. I removed the boat. I removed the storage. I got the yard cut. I did everything. The yard did grow back. I didn't remove the blocks yet, but that's supposed to be going on today or tomorrow. I have a guy working on the house.
Okay, great.
And he's supposed to remove the blocks today or tomorrow. But for the facial and soffit, I don't know yet.
Do it yourself, right?
Right.
And the junk vehicle is gone? Is that
Yes.
the result? Oh,
Okay. Well,
Okay.
it seems like you're making good progress, and sorry that you're in that situation.
Right.
I think compliance for 11.6 is, she has worked on a lot of these issues.
I'm trying. It's me by myself. So
I think the backyard is still overgrown.
he's
cutting it today?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's. I can show you proof if I can.
No, that's all right.
It was all the way cut and it's grown back. He's coming today or tomorrow
That's all right.
to cut it
Yeah,
again.
we guess the grass does that. All right, the chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 11/6/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
I guess that was Mr. Gonzalez in a second. Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sign opposed, motion carries. So we'll, hopefully in 2 months you'll get all this resolved.
Good luck.
Thank you for working on it. Okay. Now we are on case number 39, which is page 12, the top of page 12 on your, that is CEB 09-19-200, Edward and Darlene Potter.
I think it's going to be in compliance too.
Morning.
Good morning. I'm vertically challenged. Darlene Potter, 1324 Eugene Black Street.
Okay, and are you going to testify as well?
That's my son. He lives there.
Do you have the testimony that you want to?
I mean,
He witnessed it.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. He's shy.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that this property remains in non-compliance, and he's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. I tender Mr. Fitzgerald.
They are working on it. They've replaced the rotten wood, and I'm just waiting for it to be painted.
So it just needs to be painted?
Yes.
How long do you think that will take you?
It could be done this weekend.
Oh, cool. Wonderful. Okay, we like that.
I brought pictures too.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion. to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, and be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
Moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington, second, Ms. McLean, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. So hopefully we won't even have to, you won't have to come
So
back.
if they paint it this weekend, I don't have to
Then
come
you
back?
call, make sure you
I'll
call
you,
Ms. Gerald,
and-
and
okay.
he will say, okay, this is good, then you don't have to come back. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Okay.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Thank you, yeah.
All right, now we are on case number 40, CEB 0919-201, Eduardo Medrano.
I'm glad you have to say the name.
State your name and address.
Eduardo Mandragrano, 2 Chippingwood Lane, Ormond Beach.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Madam Chair, members of the board, we're here for determination of compliance and non-compliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He's been in contact with the respondent. Right now, we're asking for next cutoff, but we believe he does have a good bit of work, so we'll, but we believe next cutoff, so we'll hear from him. We don't know what he's done up to this point.
Right, okay. Good morning. What would you like to tell us?
I've spoken with, I've been in contact with contractors for the windows, all the exterior. The dates, according to the work that has to be done, it's going to be hard to finish it before about 3 months from now, because they figure a month to get the windows done, then installed, and then refinish all the exterior. The house I'm going to be moving into the house, and we're just planning this stuff as it goes ahead.
Windows are going to have to be ordered.
We had them measured and everything. I just haven't signed the order, but I can go out there today and that'll be done. It's all
So
priced.
what,
and
we
everything.
need to get permits for this stuff,
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald?
Yeah, the contractor's going to get the permits.
So we could do a progress report.
I think we should do a progress report next month, and then, is that?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Do I have to be here for that?
Should be.
I'm.
Or you could give your progress report to
Okay.
Mr.
You can email.
Just
Okay.
stay in touch with Mr. Fitzgerald.
Absolutely.
He can give us the progress report.
No, because
Where do you live now?
I'm living on 2 in Ormond Beach, but I'm Canadian. I just came down for this hearing.
Oh, wow.
Will the windows be here by next month? How long will it take for you to get the windows?
Okay, the windows, when I spoke to the contractor, the windows, it'll take about a month to get them.
There's
Then-
not going to be any progress with any windows.
Then what?
We need to know the windows are here.
Well, he can do the other stuff.
You can do the other stuff, yeah.
I can't do anything before the windows, because it's basically the finishing the outside walls.
It should be in progress in 2 months.
So,
So maybe November.
Yeah.
the windows will be installed by, at the latest, mid-November, and then the stucco guys are gonna be on the outside and they'll finish. That takes a couple of weeks.
I mean, windows and doors.
Yes, windows, doors, everything,
Let's have a
everything.
progress report in, because I want to see these permits issued too for the windows.
I'll
be
That's
looking at that,
important.
That's gonna, when I go over there and give the deposit and sign the
Today?
contract, today or tomorrow,
Yeah.
I got all the specs, everything is done. It's just, before, I just wanted to make sure everything was okay, and I just gotta go sign, give him some money, and it's all scheduled. There's
Okay.
no problem.
So we have a progress report next month, which you can give to Mr. Fitzgerald, and I
Okay.
hope that you will have some of these things done, including the permit.
The permit will be done, but the windows.
That's okay, will be,
okay,
but we
okay.
need,
Oh,
we
yeah.
need
yeah,
Mr.
absolutely,
Fitzgerald to
yes,
tell us that
absolutely,
that
yes.
has happened. And then we'll determine a compliance date at that time.
Now, is that the house number I'm looking at, or because it's
Yes, that's the house.
house number?
Yes.
The roof was done, I guess, a couple of months ago with
No,
the permit.
no. The day we bought the property, we contracted the roof out, and then we were doing some changes to the house, which the city refused them. An architect presented it, the city refused it, and that's why it's taking time, or else.
Okay.
But there's only one thing, the address is above the garage.
Yeah, I just noticed that.
Above the garage.
Yeah, the numbers is there.
So there is an address on the house.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No,
There you go.
the color doesn't stick out, but
Yeah,
it's there.
no,
It's
that's
there,
All
yeah.
right, that's fine.
All right, so, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance in order of progress report for the next meeting, which is 10/10/2019. And at that time, we will determine a compliance date.
Okay.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington, second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, thank you.
Good. Thank you very much.
Case number 41, CEB 0919-202, Lonnie Davis at Fletcher.
41.
Hungry.
I know. Blood sugar.
That's right. That's what it-
Lonnie Davis, 420 Fletcher Avenue, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Pull the microphone up. You're a little bit taller.
Okay.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is, who do I have? Mike Fitzgerald. Ms. Fitzgerald reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He acknowledged that the respondent has been doing some work on it, but it remains in non-compliance. He asked the next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance.
Okay.
I attend to Mr. Fitzgerald.
Gerald, what can you tell us has been done?
They removed there was I guess there was a trailer on there with garbage and stuff. That's been taken care of.
Okay.
And they've gotten down to something that's more manageable, but all that needs to, in front of the garage has to go away.
Okay.
The garbage can has to go to the side of the house, and it has to be neat and clean.
All right, Mr. Davis, what would you like to tell us? If you need to understand what exactly needs to be done, you're going to get in touch with Mr. Fitzgerald, right?
Oh, I understand completely.
Okay, okay. You have anything you want to tell us? 'Cause you can get this done.
Well, yeah,
next time, right?
I can get that taken care of.
Good. And then when you get it
That
taken,
was there because of the hurricane.
yeah, okay,
That's
when
what-
you get
that's
that
what that
taken
was.
care of, just talk to,
Yeah. I also talked with Daniel Garcia too, so.
okay, well,
they've
it's
been-
better since it's Mr. Fitzgerald's
Mr.
case.
Fitzgerald,
I'm not
okay.
telling you what to do, but
Yes.
it's Mr.
Okay.
Fitzgerald's case. So let
No
him
problem.
know. And you were notified 6/3/2019, so, okay, so we're just going to, next cutoff, is that, okay. Who would like to make that motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right, Ms. McLean, motion, who made the second?
Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Harrington, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. So maybe we won't even see you back here next month, right?
Ma'am. No.
Just get it done,
All
right.
right. Thank you.
Yeah, let's see, case 47. 47. Let me see who this is. Okay, you're 48. You must be 48.
No, he says he's 44.
Mr. Smith?
Oh, boy, okay, then you're first.
Mr. Smith?
I'm sorry, you come on up. I don't have your number up here.
Yep. Mr.
That's
Smith.
right.
Yep.
Yeah, just, you guys sit down. Anybody that hearing a case, you can come up and sit in front here, so, because we're almost done with people that are here. So we're doing case 44 right now, which is on page 13, CEB 0919-205, and you're Mr. Smith, right?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Anything new?
Yes, I do.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that the property remains in non-compliance. It is occupied. Right? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay, he thinks it's occupied.
It ain't
And it's,
It is or it is not?
I see the door open, so
It's not occupied.
It's not.
No.
okay. But he's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. Tender Mr. Fitzgerald.
As you can see, the windows are boarded up. The roof is in very bad condition. And I do see people in and out of there. I don't see the doors open.
Oh, I see. So
Yeah.
there could be people that are
Yeah.
going in there
Yeah.
illegally or whatever.
And so I put that he could be in
Is
compliance.
that someone that,
Yeah,
and there's a
well,
car
walking
there,
in
and that's not you, Mr. Smith?
No, that's not me.
Okay. Wonder who that is.
I don't know who that is. That could be my son, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And he could be in compliance by pulling a demo permit.
It's that far gone that that's what we need to do.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't put him in compliance until it was done and finalized out.
Hey,
Now,
what-
is this what, could I ask, is this what you're saying, Mr. Smith?
What's that?
A demo? You're pulling a demo? From
I ain't pulling nothing. I don't. No, I'm through. So whatever we can do, we do. But no, I'm through with it.
what does that, I'm not trying to aggravate you. I just want to understand when you say you're through with it.
Yeah, I'm. Everything that needs to be done is going to outcost me. I
Right,
can't.
and I get that. So
Yeah.
what you're left with is probably, since there's so much that needs to be
Right.
done, and you are saying that it's too much
Right.
for you to do.
Right.
There's nothing left to do but to get rid of the building. Is that
Right.
what you're saying?
Exactly.
Okay, I just wanted to understand.
Is that up to the city to declare it abandoned if he walks away from it? How does that work?
Well, what would happen is that you go in front of the, it's not in front of us today, but there's a board that handles those kind of cases.
Or he could put the property up for
Okay,
sale.
so
May want to talk to Miss Flaherty downstairs. Who's she upstairs?
She's down now.
Oh, upstairs.
Just not
I mean upstairs or downstairs.
Yeah, ultimately, the Board of Building Codes can.
Yeah, I mean,
They'll
consider
if
that.
he wants to let it go, he needs to talk to Barbara.
Right, so it
Kim.
won't be our case.
Kim Flaherty is her name.
Who's that?
She handles the demolitions.
Oh, what's the name?
Kim Flaherty.
Kim Flaherty.
Is that what Mr. Fitzgerald and Code said?
Mr. Sykes said he'll get.
No, I'm just saying that
Get the
she can talk
information.
about demolitions.
Okay.
Oh, but that's what
Okay.
he's saying.
We're not telling him to do that, just say that's
Yeah.
it's a contact person.
If he abandoned us, then it's not our case. If he,
Well,
Wait a minute. No,
What do we do?
Case right now.
Jumping the gun here.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith owns the house.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to, and the property, and somebody's going to have to pay for the demolition.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's the city or eventually, or Mr. Smith first.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know exactly how that works, but he can't, walking away from it is,
Yeah,
before it's taken care of, is still,
But, excuse me, he just told him to contact downstairs.
That's the person that handles the demolitions for the city.
yeah,
That's all. I'm not saying he should do that if he didn't, but.
right.
I want to hear from Mr. Jackson.
Yeah,
please.
well, actually, it's just gonna parrot or repeat Ms. Condit. At this point, we're asking, he owns the property.
Right.
We're asking for a finding of noncompliance.
Right.
If he elects to do nothing, that's called remaining in noncompliance.
Right.
And then we'll make whatever decisions
Okay.
based on whatever happens
Okay.
going
Right.
forward
Okay.
on property.
So let's
Right.
do that, and you make sure that you keep in touch with Mr. Fitzgerald too, okay? Let him know what's going on, all right?
Yeah.
Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent in compliance by the cutoff date,
I got it.
10/2/2019, to be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So move.
All right, motion, Mrs. Himes, second.
Question.
Rubio. Go ahead.
How are we gonna entertain fining him $1,000 a day or whatever
Yeah.
if he has, no, I said entertaining, which would be the next, I'm addressing the motion,
Okay,
which is for the next meeting,
right.
when he doesn't have the money, that's what he's saying, so.
Doesn't have what?
The money to pay
But he
any
might not
fines.
even show up next meeting. He might come into compliance by doing other things, so.
It's just a question.
That's what the code states.
Right.
That's what the code states. That's all she's saying, sir.
Yeah, it's the way the motions are framed, so that if we decide to fine him or fine anyone, not you in particular, we can do it up to $1,000. That's the limit that we're allowed, is $1,000 per day. So that's up to, is what you're saying. And it doesn't matter, we will decide that when the case comes back.
Right.
But right now, we're not deciding to do that. We're just letting them know that that's a possibility of what can happen if you're not in compliance. When the cases come back for fining, sometimes we give extra time and we change the compliance date and all that, so.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Okay. Thank
All right, now, I'm sorry, we're on case number 47. Eugene Harris. There you are. He doesn't have to get him a mic?
Oh, yeah.
Neil?
I'll be speaking. Oh, I don't know how.
Right there. You can get up and let him.
He's too good. Try Tony.
She'll be doing the speaking
Oh, then he doesn't need to get up.
on his behalf, I presume.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Linda Harris. I'm my father's daughter, Eugene Harris. His address is, Linda J. Harris. My father's address is 348 Ellsworth Street, Daytona Beach, Florida, 32114.
And what is your address?
My address is 1229 Charter Oaks Drive, Holly Hill, Florida, 32117.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. So I'm here to represent...
Okay, well, let me
sorry.
hear from code enforcement
Sorry.
personnel.
Sorry.
Plenty of time to talk. Okay.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that the property remains in non-compliance, and he's asking that for next cutoff of the property to be brought into compliance. He does acknowledge that Ms. Harris has informed him of the intent to seek some assistance, some services through some of the city programs, so it may be sometime. But at this point, we're asking for next cutoff, and we'll see where we are.
So is this in a redevelopment zone?
I don't know that answer. Is this in the redevelopment area?
Mr. Bryant.
He's not here. Let's go. Okay.
Yeah, this is in redevelopment area. Do you know?
Yeah. that's
Okay.
fine. Okay, because sometimes there are funds. Okay. So, if let's ask,
Anything else?
so Mr. Eugene lives in this house, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Excuse me, are we dealing with a former city commissioner by any chance? Was it, or wrong name? Was the gentleman a commissioner at one time?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
The one before was a former city commissioner.
Oh, the
Bernard
one
Smith.
before.
Smith.
Yeah, Mr. Smith was
Oh,
former.
okay.
Smith was former city
Okay,
commissioner.
I knew somebody was.
The case before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, what would you like to tell? Well, all right, Mr. Fitzgerald, what's your...
At this point, they've done some of the yard in the front. They cleaned the sidewalk up, and they're working towards compliance. And I guess she's going to tell you how they plan on achieving that.
Thank you. So I just wanted to kind of give you an update of some things that I've done. I recently relocated back from South Florida to take care of my dad. Due to his physical, mental, and financial well-being, made the decision to move back home to care for him. We are in receipt of the violations that we received from the city. He's been a long-standing resident, and we will work with the city to bring up his home up to code. Some things that I have done, I have hired or have asked different family members and friends to assist us with keeping his lawns manicured. As Mr. Fitzgerald has stated, we've cut back the trees, got rid of the rubbish that was on the sidewalk. I've decided and made a decision, because I can't count on those individuals, to hire a lawn service that will service his property once a month. With the upcoming inspection, want to make sure that the trees, the trimming of the trees meets the city requirements. I have been in contact with the City of Daytona Community Development. I've had a conversation, but because of my dad's mental health, he is unable to make decisions on his own. So I'm in the process of securing a power of attorney document that will give me the opportunity to act on his behalf. I will continue to work with Mr. Fitzgerald. It will take some time. I was told that once I do submit the application with community development, we will be put on a waiting list. So some of the major external things that were cited in the violation will take some time. I am looking around at other agencies within the city that might be able to assist us, because he's financially unable to make all of the repairs on his own. So we've started. I anticipate getting the power of attorney document secured within the next 2 weeks. I will next time get on the waiting list with the community development, but I also will be looking at Habitat for Humanity and other agencies that may be able to assist him.
Glad you can advocate for him. Wow.
Looks to me like there's a major effort being done here. I think, we're talking the first of the year. I think to encourage this, we should give them all the time they need, maybe get a progress report in December. But let's see what they can do. I mean, getting the grants is a timely process if they have them.
I agree with Mr. Harrington. We need to give them sufficient time to report back to us. They've already started making some corrections.
Yes, sir.
So it's the kind of situation where it's one day at a time, basically, with these grants and getting the help that they need.
I was wondering if there are other things on this list that aren't hideously expensive to do, like the screening on the windows, and things like that aren't too expensive to do. If you could work on those things while you're looking for grants for the bigger things.
Okay. I do have a brother that's in Oklahoma that lives out of state, so we've been in constant communication. So we will work on the less expensive things. I do work full time, but the major structural things for his home, I can't do it financially. I know my dad can't. That's why we're going to community development to seek assistance, but we will.
Question, was your dad a veteran?
No, sir. He became ill. His health has declined since 2014, so it's been a gradual thing.
Well, thank you for coming to take care of us.
Mr. Bryant. Maybe Mr. Bryant could let you walk back in. We're talking about a house on 348 Ellsworth, and we think it's in a CRA. Is Ellsworth in a CRA?
Couldn't tell you, Ralph.
Yeah, okay.
Sounds like it might be.
Oh, we think it is.
Okay.
I think it's Midtown.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of work that needs to be done on this house, and if in fact it is in a CRA, are there any funds that are available to ask for, is what Ms. Harris kind of needs to know.
Yes, we do have funds available in the Midtown redevelopment area.
Yeah,
I
if
think
that
that's
is in it.
probably where it might be.
Yeah, we think so too, but okay. So she could get with you and talk to you for her father?
Yes, I'll be glad to
Okay, good.
speak with, and also it might be funds in community development. He might qualify
Right,
for
okay.
community development
Good,
funds.
so that too. So we'll work on all those things will get worked on. In the meantime, keeping it cleaned up and, getting screened so they're not bugged, all that stuff might that's easier to do rather than, the big ticket items, just keep working on it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Thank you.
So where are we? We're going to give a progress report in December?
That's kind of far.
I think so too.
I would much rather see it in
How about
November.
progress report in November? And then at that time, because that's, it's time for Ms. Harris to talk to people and to do, and to see what's available, what's not available.
Be some communication breakdowns, and maybe
Yeah.
some other things come
Correct.
available, more
Right.
information.
Correct.
So, I think maybe
I
the
think I'm better with that. What do you say?
November meeting.
Time, but also a progress report.
Okay. All right, we're so Ms. Himes has made a motion to find the respondent in noncompliance and order a progress report on 11/14/2019, and at that time, we'll determine a compliance date.
Yes.
All right.
I second
So,
it.
All right, and Mr. Gonzalez seconds that, so all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, sorry I had to wait so long, too. Is there anyone else here
We
now?
have to actually we have two people here. I didn't get her case, which is 45, and he is case number 48.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do. I know throw them as fast
We're
as I
saving the
can.
best for last.
Bye.
State your name.
You can order some pizza is what you
I
can.
know, really.
you. Patricia Davis.
Chocolate pizza?
Is it 12:30?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're
Sorry.
almost there. Okay.
Patricia Davis.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the
45.
testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, that's case number CEB 0919-206 on page 13.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or noncompliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that the property remains in noncompliance. He does acknowledge that the junk vehicle has been removed, but otherwise it remains in noncompliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. I attend to Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yeah, I concur with what he.
Okay, what would you like to tell us, Ms. Davis?
That my sons went over there and did the work. It was done.
Well, if this work has been done, has it been painted?
Yes.
Okay, so all you have to do then is talk to Mr. Fitzgerald, and he will come and inspect
I'm going to have that photo in a second.
and
I think the
You live
inspector
there-
will
Do
indicate.
you live there, Ms. Davis?
No, I don't.
Who lives there?
No one.
It's an empty house?
The inspector will
Go ahead.
indicate he was there yesterday,
Oh, it was there yesterday.
so he wanted to
So-
speak to.
Okay, so according to these pictures that we're looking at, Ms. Davis, it doesn't look like all this has been done. It
What
hasn't
time were you
been
there?
painted.
Right here, see the side wall with the peeling paint? That was yesterday.
What time were you there?
Okay, so we'll give you till, we're gonna find you in non-compliance because the pictures kind of show that it's not all done yet. And by next month, and when you get it all finished, you talk to Mr. Fitzgerald. When you get it all finished,
I'll
you
go back.
talk to Mr. Fitzgerald and he will come out and look at it.
Thank you.
Would you like me to come out today?
Go out there, follow me. You want to follow
Well,
me now?
Well,
Right after this is done,
when
yeah.
we're done here, we need him here for a few more minutes, so. So motion to find respondent, okay, non-compliance or respondent permitted compliance for the next cutoff date, which is 10/2/2019, to be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Motion, Mrs. Himes, there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay, so all you need to do is stay real close to Mr. Fitzgerald, and he'll explain what you need to do.
And just for clarification on the record, I think Mr. Fitzgerald would want to not leave for feeling like he was being left or misled. He meant that he was there on the 9th, so
Right.
it very well
Okay.
could be done. So
Could be
he'll
done,
go.
yeah, so, but you need to tell him, you need to show him that. He needs to see it. Okay, and that's how it works. All
Phone her down, I'll call you.
right, now,
Mr. Williams.
48.
come on up, case number 48. I wish we had a prize for you, but we don't.
I tried to get by yesterday, I was on Monday.
No problem.
Okay.
If you came by there on Monday, then you seen my sons over there. They were over there Monday and yesterday. Oh.
Okay, this is case number 48, CEB 0919-209, Robert Williams.
State your name and address, please.
Robert Williams, 338 Ellsworth Street, Daytona Beach.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance or non-compliance. The inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that this property is in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. I tender Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yeah, they've been working on this property diligently. It's just ran out of time, I guess, and I expect it to be in compliance by next cutoff. Thank you.
Good, great. Is that good with you? You can get that all done?
Yes, I just like to add that the only thing that's left to be done is just the remaining of the painting.
Okay, great.
But what I would request is, if possible, to amend that notice, because basically discussions that I've had with the city in reference to it was that, if I can get in contact with them before we get to this point, that they could have extended it so we're not here and I can go ahead and do it. I did leave messages. We just haven't been able to communicate, and so now we're here. So, based on the fact that 97% of the stuff is done, just got to finish the painting. I'm requesting that if you guys could just amend the notice of violation, and in other words, the determination of compliance and non-compliance, and within a week I can get this thing finished and.
They can't amend the notice of violation. It's public record.
Well, not. I guess not.
So
yet.
we're giving you, here's what we're going to do. We find you in non-compliance today, and we give you until the 2nd of October to come into compliance. If you're into compliance before then, you call Mr. Fitzgerald and you won't have to come back here.
Right, well.
And I get what you're saying.
Right.
You're offended that,
I was trying to not, the whole purpose was, to get this property taken care of before we got to this hearing.
Right.
And I was trying to, adhere to that, and also adhere to the, discussion that I've had with them, that if we can get in communication and see that the progress had been done, then we can extend it. And he said, look, I can get this taken off of the agenda, so we don't have to come here. So that's what I was trying to get done.
We don't have the authority to do that.
We very much appreciate the representation, Mr. Williams, that he won't have any other problems with the property, so it'll be great, and we won't even have to worry about this anymore.
Right, you won't have to come back and.
Okay, I'll accept you. That's fine.
So, motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent into compliance by 10/2/2019 to be returned for consideration fund. Up to $1,000 per day. Ms. Himes made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. McLean. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
Tell me-
Carries. Please make a note. Ms. Roby's not here right now. Oh.
Tell me what the Society for the Preservation of Destruction is.
No, it's just a shortcut.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
No, I'm not a part of it. All right.
No one else is here. Thank you. All right, we're going to do the last one on this page, 49. That's Mr. Fitzgerald, CEB 0919-213, Joseph and Mahina.
Yes, Madam Chair, members of the board, this is before you for determination of compliance and non-compliance. Inspector is Mike Fitzgerald, and he reports that it remains in non-compliance. Next cutoff to come into compliance.
Case number, please.
This is number
This is
49.
09-19-213. Case 49.
49?
Page 49.
Case
We don't have
49,
a
page 14.
Okay.
14.
The last.
The last case.
Okay.
Non-compliance, next cutoff.
Thank you.
It's our request.
Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 10/2/2019 and be returned to the board for consideration of fine up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
A motion, Mrs. Lime, second. Mr. Harrington, all in favor, say aye. Like sign opposed. Okay, now let's go back. We're just going to go backwards, kind of page by page.
Okay, I think we're going to start where
So we need, let's go to page 13. Case 46, CEB 09, he's down at the bottom.
Case 21?
Oh, I was just going.
Oh. Okay, so
Just
you're
going
on.
back.
I'm on 46.
Just
Page 13, CEB 0919-207, Frank Heitman, Nancy Elliott.
Yes, the inspector in this case is Mike Fitzgerald. He reports that the property remains in non-compliance. They are working on it. He believes they can have it in compliance by next cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. McLean, motion, Mr. Harrington, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and, Ms. Roby is back. 43. CEB, this is at the top of page 13, CEB 0919-204, Gloria Smith.
Madam Chair, members of the board, the inspector is Mike Fitzgerald. He's reporting that the property is now in compliance, but based on the nature of the violation, he's asking for the a finding of non-compliance.
Okay? So, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent previously in non-compliance but currently in compliance, and for any future violation be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $5,000 per occurrence, and the case be dismissed.
Thank you.
Motion, Mrs. Roby, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay. All right, now let's go back. We're almost there, guys. Case 42. CEB 0919-203 Milton Patrick at 356 Ellsworth. We had a lot of Ellsworth.
Ellsworth today, huh?
That was Code Wall. Code Wall. Yeah.
It's the inspector's Mike Fitzgerald. It's not compliance?
No, it's being worked on.
Okay. Mr. Fitzgerald reports that the property is in non-compliance. They are working on it, but he's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, or be returned to the board for consideration fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. McLean, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
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 Sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. On with that page, let's go back. On page 11, 37 first.
You got to give him a minute to find the pictures. And me a
Oh,
minute
I'm
to finish
sorry.
writing all this stuff.
Okay.
We're speeding through.
I'm sorry.
Well, they are. They're not. Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
we ready for number 37?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. The inspector is Mark Jones. This determination of compliance or non-compliance. Mr. Jones reports that the property is in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. Any contact? No. And there has been no contact with the respondent.
Motion for non-compliance next cutoff.
All right, Mr. Harrington has made a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 10/2/2019. To be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, case number 35. The 0919-185, Frederick Engnock.
How do you say his name?
I don't know how you say his name. Dang, I don't know.
Hang knock. The inspector is Mark Jones. This is for 415 North Halifax, unit number 105. Mr. Jones reports that the property is in non-compliance. It is occupied. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance.
No contact?
No contact.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion by respond to non-compliance or respond to committee compliance by the next cutoff date to be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000.
So moved.
So moved.
Okay, Ms. McLean made the motion, second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Are we there yet? Oops.
Page 10.
Page 10, case 34. Jones. Oh,
Yes, the inspector in this case is Mark Jones. In this case, the respondent failed an inspection on 5/18. This since been no contact. I'm sorry, I don't know if it's been no contact, but the property is occupied, and Mr. Jones is recommending next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. Has been contact?
You had any
And there has
contact?
been no contact.
Is this 802 Lewis?
This is 802 Lewis,
Yes,
correct?
yes, that's correct.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion by respondent in non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019, to be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. McLean, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Reflect Ms.
It's on white.
Times had the
All right, now Ms. Himes is out. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, who do we have here?
Number 33.
33.
I missed one.
33.
The inspector in this case is Mark Jones. He reports that the property remains in non-compliance. It's occupied, no contact. In fact, he said the respondent picked up the application back in May but never did anything. So non-compliance next cutoff.
Are we on case 33?
Case number
We're on
33.
Let me read it into the record. Case 33, CEB 09-19-174, Edward R. Wright.
Thank you.
White.
White. Might be right, but he's
I-
white.
Okay.
No contact.
Anything?
No.
Okay.
Just what I said. No contact, no non-occupied.
No
and
contact.
Non-compliance next cutoff.
Okay.
And he picked up an app but never did anything.
Okay. Oh, he picked up an app. Okay.
Back in May. Picked up the
In
application.
May? Okay.
Well, he didn't submit the
Not that it
application.
matters, but we didn't do anything with it. Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date of return to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion, Mr. Harrington, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. McLean, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
8.
26.
Page 8.
Eight.
The inspector in this case is Jerome McCoy. Mr. McCoy, Mr. McCoy reports that the property remains in non-compliance, that the respondent previously failed the inspection, and so he's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance.
Don't need to have him here if you're here, correct?
Right, yeah, that's based upon my
Just gonna move right
consultation.
along. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 10/2/2019 to be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington, second.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, case number 23, CEB 09-19-199, 625 Russell. Sarah Young.
The inspector in this case is Tom Clegg. Mr. Clegg reports that the property remains in non-compliance. He's asking for next cutoff for the property to be brought into compliance. He's had no contact with the respondent. No, if it's occupied.
Okay.
No permit pulled?
No, it doesn't matter.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
Got nothing here. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent committee compliance by the next cutoff date, 10/2/2019. Be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Roby, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. McLean, all in favor say aye.
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 Like sign opposed, motion carries.
21.
Oh, and Mr. Halderman. You're up.
This is the last.
You're the last. You get the prize today.
And interestingly enough, this is case number 21. Did you read it already?
Case number 21, CB 0919-178, William and Pia McNeil at 320 Woodland.
And the inspector in this case is Steve Alderman. Mr. Alderman reports the property is in compliance and he's seeking a will fine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent previously in non-compliance but currently in compliance for any future violation to be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $5,000 per occurrence and case be dismissed.
So moved.
Yay!
This is
Roby.
Ms. Roby made the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. McLean. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, so do we have any miscellaneous business?
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez, for figuring it's the longest meeting.
Yeah, no, yeah, good.
Yeah, first
Great
meeting,
job.
longest meeting
I'm sorry it was so long. Trying to get through these, but.
I think if I could just mention, I
Go ahead.
don't think it takes a long explanation, but just a reminder on the business tax receipts. Business tax receipts are what used to be the old, what's it, ARC license?
Occupation license.
Yeah,
right,
so
and
it's just an old ARC license.
Right.
And so, but it's actually a tax. So that stands alone. Once someone pays
Right.
it, there's no other penalty. Even though we require an inspection, we join those with the rental license.
Okay, I
The rental
didn't
license is
realize
a
that.
completely separate ordinance, and with the rental license, that one is a Chapter 162 violation. So with the rental license, it's the normal non-compliance and the time to come into compliance. The standard, because of the way the ordinance is laid out for the rental license, the first action that they have to take is an application. Then upon applying, then they have to schedule an inspection. So their first notice is saying, hey, we know you're renting and you don't have a license.
Right.
But that doesn't mean we know anything else because we haven't been in yet. They haven't let us inspect. Sometimes we're coming to you because they've already let us in the first time we've inspected, but then they hadn't done
Right.
what was necessary.
But so now
it changes.
Okay, the BTR though, that we used to issue a fine, and that was like the first
And that's what
one-time fine.
We still do that if they
Okay.
didn't obtain it, but to get the BTR as far as,
Okay,
because
so
it's
now-
a tax,
Okay.
the only thing they have to do is, once they've paid it, even though they haven't really fulfilled everything required regarding it, once it's paid, we don't really have any basis for pursuing anything more.
Okay.
And if we did, it would be probably through going to circuit court for a injunction.
Okay.
But, yes.
Any contact with everybody about a workshop?
Yes, we wanted to make mention of that as well.
Really? Workshop?
Yeah, in October. That's what Captain Lee told me.
Yeah, we're looking at October the 24th.
Okay.
Ritz Carlton and Bernardina Beach.
Are we gonna get mine?
We're going to have it right here? You know, before we had it at
Mine somewhere. I mean.
we could have a special place to go to Jens's office, and that'd be new.
We used to
haven't
go
been
to
there yet.
Orlando.
I guess so, because I haven't heard anything about it.
I have a request for the workshop. That is, if we could get a copy of the actual codes.
There's a packet, introductory packet that they'll give you if you hadn't gotten it yet.
I gave it to him.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I got mine.
But
He's
I
looking,
got it,
I
I
know
got
what
it.
he's looking for. He's looking for the
We have
LLC.
minutes and we have the code, we have the bylaws.
Right, I got all
Got
that.
all that.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the actual codes.
Yeah.
The codes that we
Yeah,
quote.
they're all
Yeah.
electronic.
Yeah,
Oh.
all
And
electronic.
all
You have to
available.
get it, I would think you'd get it online because you're talking this much.
This is the land development.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
that's
And then
it.
you also
That's
have-
what I'm looking for.
Sometimes they have a ordinance.
Yeah, you
I'm
can,
not sure, you probably.
I can go online?
Who would need to
yeah,
follow.
you can go online, that's all
All
on.
of that's right online.
Okay.
And it's updated.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, we all know them all by heart.
This is gonna be.
Anything
But I
else?
was voted with the code like this.
Meeting adjourned.